Yeah, 4.
Okay. You can all have another 3.
The general experience points, is that the attribute points you're talking about?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, I couldn't remember what they were called.
So there.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
I have them
also
labeled
yeah.
as general experience points.
Okay.
Henry, in the Excel
Yes.
sheet, do you happen to know
Is
where?
there a spot for them?
Yeah, I can put it under
Uh,
custom skills and just have a tally
Yeah,
there. But
you
we
can
had
put it under the like study period, the notes section, like maybe not the top line, but the very bottom line.
yeah, yeah.
Um, because they go in sort of the same spot. I mean, they're sort of similar. Otherwise, yeah. Where else would be this campaign? Nah, probably not campaign notes.
I could spend 6 of them right now and get rid of my negative endurance modifier.
wait. So how many are we at? We're at 7.
You're gonna be at
Mm-hmm.
7 now, yeah.
Yes. What can you use the general XP on?
What can you use the general XP on?
I
PDF.
was going to ask because I had forgotten what I actually.
I,
I think when you gave them to us, did you even give any details?
Yeah, we talked about
uh-huh.
them.
It's a 1-to-1 for strength, dex, and
Hmm.
endurance,
Throwing so much shade at me. You know,
and then a
there's a lot of
Well,
things to throw shade at
hey,
me
there
for,
have
but
been
that's not
some
one of them.
times. Okay, there have been
There have
some
been plenty of
times.
times, I will admit. This wasn't one of them, I don't think.
and then I think it was a 2-to-1 for intellect and education, and you couldn't use them on social.
Yeah. Let's
Oh
see.
man.
Where
Oh,
are
I
we
could
looking
actually
at?
be smartish. Oh my god, some miracle.
When you say 1-to-1, what does that mean? Like I could literally just take one general XP and put it into strength and be higher strength?
No, I guess it's not 1-to-1. It's so if you want to go, say if you're a 5 and you want to go to 6, you have to spend 6 points, 1-to-1
Okay.
for. But
Oh.
if you're a
Yeah.
5 and you want to go to 6 in intellect, then you have to spend 12 points.
Yeah. Perfect.
So since my 8 in
Here.
education, I want to get to a 9, I would have to spend 18.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm
All right.
I
I'm gonna
will
write that down.
I'm gonna put a I'm gonna take a snapshot of this page in the book, and I'll put it in as a handout in Roll 20. It has a handy dandy table because it's Traveler. There's a table for that. Um, Traveler, we'll put it in Traveler pictures, experience, tables, Roll 20.
What's what level do you get a pot or neutral? What do you call it? Modifier?
6.
Or
6.
okay. Or does it just go to -1 and then 1? Or is it negative 1,
No.
0, 1?
No,
Negative
No,
one
it's a
zero one.
negative.
-1 to 0.
Do
Like
you
Okay.
use
7 to 9 is
Yeah.
6 to 8. 6 to 8 is 0.
Yeah,
Yep,
6 to 8
6,
is
8,
0.
0, and then 9 to 11 is 1.
Do you use the Excel
There
sheet? You don't use the character sheet?
Yeah, in the
Uh,
character sheet there is a little score
Yeah.
table that tells you what all the pluses and minuses are.
yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I think the Excel sheet is really well laid out. The only
Yeah, it's got
downside
it's
being
got a
the
Okay.
lot of extra
notes.
usages.
The notes are just a little tight.
Okay. You should I'll click show. If I hit, when I asked this before and I forgot. When I hit show to players, does it automatically pop up on your Roll 20
Yes.
page? Okay, cool. So
Yes,
y'all have the
it is
experience point
in my
uses.
face.
There you go.
Yes.
And are we good to go ahead and spend the general XP whenever we want, or is that a certain period when you can use it?
No, it's I think when you have them, you can spend them. Just you know, throw in
So,
a little flavor there, saying like, "Hey, I've been working on this thing or that thing," or
So we can put them into skills or characteristics then.
yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Okay, I was
There's
just
the
about to
cost.
ask
The
that.
cost to gain the skill
Wha-
is listed.
Oh, so that means I could. Oh.
So essentially,
I
what I'm
could get
hearing is this.
skills.
Yeah, I can I can buy my way into actually being skilled in something.
Hmm.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
I I think it's totally reasonable I have a 0 in advocate now.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna spend 1 point on that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because 0. Yeah.
Wow, yeah, that's quite solid.
Um,
I guess I can go under miscellaneous handouts.
I can fix
Miscellaneous.
my endurance modifier, or I can get so many skills kind of pumped up.
All right, here's a good question. What skills do we not have that we need someone to take?
I think we got most of it covered. Nobody has animals, but I don't think that matters for us. Um, we have some brokers, or we had no, because we had a broker. Or does
Does
FNG?
SFNG?
Does he have broker?
Uh, bu- 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 I have a 0. I can pump it up a little bit though. Probably wouldn't hurt.
We have deception. We got diplomat. We got drive, electronics, engineering. Oh, side question there. So with that, if we spend 1 point to put in engineering at 0, that gives us the basic for all of the subs, right? So we're fully trained in that.
Hmm.
Okay. So
It helps, right?
that might be worthwhile. Some one of us picking up engineering to help with that if FNG can't, because we've been in that pickle before.
Mm-hmm.
Um, explosives. I don't think we have anybody with explosives, unless
Nope.
okay.
Sounds like a
Okay.
jinx.
Yeah,
I
Jinx
was
would
gonna
I mean,
say
fit.
I'll
unless
take
Jinx has
it.
it.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, since I have what did I since I'm in remote ops, I think it makes sense that I would know about explosives or at least
Yeah. Yeah.
trained in it. So I'll spend 1 to take a 0 in it.
Oh
Now I'm gonna
man,
blow shit up. It's
you're
gonna be
gonna have
great.
self-destructing drones.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I would love that.
I don't think we've got. Does anyone have heavy weapons? Not that I think we need it, but
No,
Never know.
but I mean, yeah, you never know. We could.
let's see. We've got leadership, mechanic, medic. Um, no one has navigation, but so far we've mainly did space stuff.
Um, kind of a little bit of a meta question, Henry. Is this going to be a investigation heavy style campaign?
No, the last like what 4 sessions have been, which is my bad. Those. I mean, investigation is always a
It's
good skill
fun.
to have. I think investigation is probably always a good skill to have, but no, it wasn't my intent
It's
that there
not
would.
the
Yeah, no, the last few
gotcha.
sessions have been like a themes, maybe like, uh, sequence of episodes, TB continued episode, like episode series, but not like it's
Right.
not the overall, you know, part of the whole
Okay,
season.
got you. I won't worry about that just yet then.
I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Does this mean I can increase my awareness, telepathy, and telekinesis?
Ooh,
Oh,
I don't know.
Does this mean that I could get teleportation?
I also don't know. I think I like the still needing a like instructor or tutor, but I think if you find that, then I'm fine with you spending XP points on
Okay.
like these points on them. But I think you still need someone to teach you those things.
You got to find your old bin.
Yeah, because I was just thinking that. I'm like, wait a second. Can I increase my psionics? And then I thought, wait,
Yeah.
can I increase my abilities for that?
Oh man, but
That
there's the guy that caused you to do the thing to the jump drive. If we find him, he could take you to the dark side.
Oh, you can
True.
do
Raise a
force
whole fleet
lightning
of
and
ships.
everything.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, look at all these spaceships I have under the ice. I'm mine now.
Alright. I've just distributed my points to be a bit more engineer and touch and admin and 2 broker. And picked up a 0 for gunner. Just
You
in case.
increased your engineer too. More of your engineers.
I got a 1 in life support finally, so like all engineering I'm pretty proficient in. And then
Gotcha.
I picked up computers and sensors just because I'm going to be an engineer anyway. Wouldn't hurt
Yeah.
to roundabout.
Makes sense.
Oh, I feel like I can spend point on persuade. I do that a lot. I feel like you would have gotten better at that.
Ooh, while you guys finishing this up, I'll be right back.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna hold mine off. I'm gonna play it like I played Cyberpunk 2077. I'm gonna hold these experience points, and then when it comes to like when we get to a spot where I'm like, oh, I've been doing this a lot, I'll just add in. I did that in Cyberpunk all the time.
That
I
makes
think
sense.
that might work. Yeah.
And that's kind of what I'm trying to do right now. I was thinking back of what I have been using or what we've been missing, because advocate's something we've been missing a few times here lately. Like I could see me having an extra 1 in investigate as well, because I've been doing a lot of that,
Mm-hmm.
and it's useful to have. Yeah, but I think I'm going to save 4. I'll do that for now.
Trying to think about what else would be. Honestly, what I should start working on for
I
my.
could spend 4 to put another point in my medic.
Become the best medic.
Be the most doctor of all the doctors.
Do we
The
have
most
anyone else?
doctor to have ever lived.
I don't know if we have anyone else who knows medic at all. It might not hurt to have somebody have a 0 in it.
I might start working on medic for my weekly like improve.
I have a 1 in medic, so technically,
Oh,
I could.
What?
I didn't know you had a 1 in medic.
Wait, when did that happen?
It's what it says on my sheet. A 1 in medic. I don't remember. It must have been when we made it, and I have been so like combat heavy. Like, well, I have built her to be like combat. I didn't even think about medic, so I can help.
Awesome.
Yay!
Here, I've had a nurse this whole time, didn't know it.
Yeah.
Nurse Jinx.
And well, also I was the captain, so maybe that's why I wasn't thinking about it. But now that I'm technically not the captain anymore, I could be your nurse. It's great.
We'll go refresh my drink. Be right back.
Still doling out experience points.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yes, I was telling them that I'm gonna play it like I played Cyberpunk 2077. Keep all my points, and when I really need it, I'll throw it into a skill.
When you run into a door you can't unlock.
Yes, I did that all the time. I would hold back all the points. Oh, I can't open this door. Put it in strength. Worked every time.
How often does leadership pop up? Have we ever had it pop up?
I think we've only had it pop up really once.
Not often. but it has popped up before.
Yeah.
And
At least,
can
yeah,
be
at least
used.
once.
It can be used regularly for like initiatives and things.
I'm thinking as like captain sort of thing. Because I'm also not really much of a fighter. I have basic skills, but I shouldn't be on the front line. Oh,
Can I put one into Jack of all trades?
No.
Darn.
Yeah. They specifically
Yeah.
state in the core rule book, yeah, Jack of all trades can only be gained during character creation.
Ah, darn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna put 1 point into flyer and get that to 0 all across the board. Just so that if we ever do that, do something in an airship, grav, ornithopter, rotor, or wing, I could possibly work on that. And then
Yes, we'll have 2 flyers.
yes, I'm going
I
to
got
take my
flyer too.
Well, what point
I
is
have
there for
one
me
in
to be a
grav, I
pilot?
think.
uh, and then I'm going to take my investigate from literally nothing, and I'm going to put a 1 there, so that would require 2 XP, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And
So that is what
awesome.
I'm going to do. I'm going to put investigate at 1, and flyer, I guess, 0s all across the board.
I feel like it's a reasonable thing for most people to have flyer because it's like being able to drive a car.
Well,
yeah.
drive is another one that I was thinking about getting.
Yeah, I actually have a 0 in that one too. I don't quite know how I ended up with a 0 in both of them. I think it was all from character creation.
All right.
Maybe it
Next.
came with the Navy training?
Maybe. In like the
Maybe.
basic training.
Yeah, the basic training.
That sounds reasonable.
No, because the only thing I can't pilot is a seafaring vessel.
All right. I do believe I'm good there then.
All right. Everybody good?
Yep.
I
Yep.
think so, yes.
Excellent. Then, yeah. So you all wake up the next morning, knowing kung fu and things like that, and yeah, I guess off to maybe a meeting with Marja Aguilar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. So she's ready for you as soon as you kind of get to her office. You're like immediately sent on in, and she's sitting there, kind of just going over the report you sent her. She's like, "Oh, thank you all so much." And she stands and goes around and shakes everyone's hand. Really, really well done. That's you've done not only me a favor, but the whole station itself. And she kind of gestures for you to sit.
It was a serious twist too.
Yeah, it looks. And she kind of like looks at her. Look, it looks like it. Yeah, it's shocking. I didn't expect that from Martin, but I guess that's what happens.
Apparently,
Huh?
he's a company man through and through. Hope
Yeah,
the
so it would
company
seem.
appreciates him.
Yeah, I'm sure that knowing corporate types, I'm sure they do. So they're just disappointed they lost him. They're gonna lose him.
They got enough money; they can fix it if they really care.
She chuckles. But to the matter at hand, we talked about your ship, 428, and I'd like to hold up my end of the bargain. The nature of the islands being what they are, I can't clear your blacklisting throughout the sectors, throughout the sector, but we operate the New Byron government operates a small kind of mothballed fleet or graveyard, you might call it, in the asteroid belt, and I've gotten approval to allow you to trade in your ship for one in our fleet if you're interested. They're not perfect. They're frankly far from it, but they won't get impounded on you. So thought it might be a good alternative.
Arja, you are the best. I appreciate that so much.
Yeah,
It was
absolutely.
definitely devastating to hear that my ship was blacklisted. I definitely didn't see that on the transcript, but you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
if you did know, it would be concerning. Sorry, what was that? Yes.
not my business, I guess, currently. But is this ship bigger or about the same size as the ship he's got?
Well, I've got there's a couple you could choose from, and she slides over a data pad for you all to look at. And give me one sec here. I'll share my screen with you briefly. So there are six. The first one, oh, did it work?
Yep. I've
Okay,
seen one
cool.
at least.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna click on it because I tried to join a Discord watch a stream earlier and Discord crashed 3 times in a row. So I am just not gonna risk it, and you guys can look.
Okay. Sorry.
I mean, it's Discord's fault. I don't know why it doesn't want me to see things.
No. The first one is Seeker. I'll kind of talk about them. The first one's a Seeker mining ship. It's a modified scout ship turned into basically like a prospecting vessel. Jump 2, thrust 2. The whole ship itself is 100 tons, which is half the size of your free trader 428. There are only 2 staterooms, so they're double bunks. So you guys would be bunking with roommates. This is the smallest and the cheapest to run and operate ship. It does have a double turret, although the double turret is currently just mining lasers. You have 26 tons of cargo space. The mortgage is 38,375 credits per month, and the maintenance cost is 2,804 credits per month. Some of the known issues, in the small workforce that operates the graveyard, and this is Marja telling you, is that in the process of converting the scout ship to a mining ship, they never got around to doing any of the interior, so it's just all sort of like open wall panels, floors that are kind of like, the space equivalent of plywood over some empty spot, like some spots instead of like regular grading, and then kind of loose wires hanging everywhere. In the retrofitting process, they did something with the ship's controls as well, so it's a little slow to respond. And then, for some reason, whenever the ship is operating, there's something that kind of keeps beeping in the control center, in the cockpit. Next up, if you were to keep the same, is it still going?
Yep.
You guys see a difference? Okay.
Yep.
Next one, it would be if you wanted to keep the same sort of thing, is another free trader. This ship is a jump 1, which 428 you sort of understand that to operate a jump 1 ship in the islands, you have to have, down in the notes section, you have to have a 20-ton either inflatable or mountable fuel tank. This one has a mountable fuel tank, so it takes, I can't remember, I think it's like 2D hours to break down and to put back up if you wanted to like repurpose that cargo space. Then ship's 200 tons, classic free trader. You've got 10 staterooms, 20 low berths, no weapons currently. The cargo space is 81 tons, although 20 of that is used up with that mountable fuel tank that you need to be able to do 2 jumps to get to most places. The mortgage on this ship is 82,625 credits per month. Maintenance cost is 3,861 credits per month. The known issues with this one is the reactor core does leak, so there's the potential risk of you guys becoming irradiated from the ship's reactor core. And the comm system is just sort of plagued with static, so you're always talking like you're on a like gramophone. I don't know, not even a phone. Any questions with the first 2? I guess I should ask if you guys have any questions or anything. She can answer what she can.
None that I have.
I mean, I hate that we could get irradiated. That sucks.
Yeah,
She
as a
nods.
doctor,
It is less than
recommend
ideal.
against that one.
Yeah, it is less than ideal. Next up is a modular jump cutter. Kind of looking at the picture. Can you guys see my mouse? If my mouse is there, is it just the screen?
Yep.
Nope, your
Okay.
mouse is there.
So these cylinders are the modules. You can kind of see the map here. So those can be detached, and there's like a whole host of potential modules. Although this ship is, as it's currently outfitted, has 1 fuel skimmer module, which has an extra, I think, 30 or 20 something tons of fuel, so that it allows you to function as a jump 1 ship because you can make 2 jumps. You got a pressurized shelter because, as standard, the ship only has 3 staterooms. The pressurized shelter module adds another 4 staterooms and a common area, and I think a little bit of extra 6 tons of extra storage. Ship is also 200 tons, about the same size as a free trader. No weapons as currently set up. This ship mortgage 88,830 with 4,007 credits per monthly maintenance. Known issues. Oops, sorry, I forgot to put out the taglines. But basically, ignore the who's melted delta part. But whenever landing on like either in a docking bay or on planet, whenever the cargo or the landing gear is deployed, it tends to some sort of foul-smelling steam, which, not the worst thing, but not a great way to make an entrance. The sensors are damaged. They are sort of like not functioning perfectly. And then there are some suspicious stains just kind of spread throughout the ship that a general cleaning crew has not been able to get out.
Suspicious stains? I don't like the sound of that.
Next up, where are we? Next up is a merchant trader. This is a jump 2, thrust 2 ship, 300 tons, so slightly larger than an average free trader. Oh, I forgot the cargo. Sorry, cargo for the modular jump cutter right now, as it's currently outfitted, is about 70 tons worth of cargo space. Because 2 of the cargo modules, they're 30 tons each. The merchant trader, like I said, jump 2, thrust 2, 300 tons total for the ship. This one has 3 double turrets, which are all outfitted with 1 beam laser and 1 sandcaster. This is something 428 would know is kind of a more recognizable ship in fringe sectors like this. It just sort of has that reputation. The ability to do 2 jumps. It's a little extra weaponry or armaments, and the fact that it doesn't really have a whole lot in terms of staterooms. There's only 4 standard staterooms. It's just something that's more commonly operated in fringe areas like this, or kind of in not necessarily backwater sectors, but backwater sectors. This ship has 97.5 tons of cargo space, and the mortgage is quite a steep increase at 243,500 credits per month, with basically 7,600 credits per month in maintenance costs. Some of the known issues with this ship, as reported by its previous crew, the jump exits, whenever it exits jump space, can tend to be very rough. All the crew need to be strapped in, as well as the cargo properly secured. And then she's not sure why, but most of the hull is pretty heavily carbon scored. So there's no real. It just looks like crap. Although the picture is a lovely green, it is more like bare steel. Any questions with let's see what we got, the jump cutter or the merchant trader?
No.
All right. Go ahead.
The jump cutter.
Mhm.
So it's designed to be modular, and you can swap out the 4 cylinders for. How easy is it to swap those out, and how expensive is it? Is it like a maintenance for like a month, something I can do in like a week?
No, I mean you can swap modules out in a day. There, most systems have modular cutters, which are basically a cockpit, 1 cylinder, and an M drive. But this is a jump capable cutter. But modules you can pick up most higher level tech level worlds and spaceports, and they run anywhere from like, I think the cheapest one is like 800,000 credits to, I don't know, like 1 point something million, a couple million, depending on if you want like a, just a cargo module. Let's see. Yeah.
There's a follow up to that as well.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Are there dedicated warehouses that are designed to store like these kind of cylinders, or just a standard warehouse to like if you had extras? How would you?
If you had extras, you'd probably. That's a good question. You'd have to kind of figure that out. How you're going to store it and where. You could potentially store it, I guess, in like a hangar bay. I don't know if they're dedicated like module storage containers.
Pay docking fee, like I'm just like I assume.
You would, or you could store it on you could store it on an asteroid somewhere out in the middle of space and hope you don't lose it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'll say for everyone, I'm actually really intrigued by the jump cutter.
I mean, of the middle ships, I certainly like the sound of it better than the free trader.
Yeah, it's just a little expensive for what I feel comfortable with right now.
Well, that would put us back down to the first ship, which admittedly takes care of us all. But the trade-off is, if you have less cargo space, you can make less money at a time. That said, the other one is jump 2 capable, so you get places quicker.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of looking at it as like for general purpose, like you said, the first one. I mean, it'll get the job done. It's going to be very slow, but we're definitely going to want upgrade.
I think that first one was jump. Wasn't the first one jump 2 actually?
The Seeker mining ship was jump 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, get us to point A to point B and defend us.
Just not doing much in the way of fancy handling with it, doesn't sound like.
Nah. I don't like the handling part of it. And the beeping. I think I'd get very annoyed by the beeping.
26 tons cargo. What's the cargo? Each canister on the other one is 30. Is that right?
Yeah. So it has an extra 10 on its other modules, so you have 70 tons total.
So I guess the question is, do we want to get a standard ship that's really designed for transportation and then do jobs at locations, or do we want our ship to be our moneymaker too?
I mean, if we're going to locations anyway, it would be good if we can make a lot of money doing that.
Between
like while we're going.
Locations.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I liked how in our very first ship we were able to haul passengers and cargo and mail and literally anything.
And the trouble with the cuttlefish was even the cuttlefish had pretty minimal cargo space.
Yeah.
They don't ever really carry small lots.
Yeah, so I was trying to listen to how big the cargo holds were.
Right.
to see what we could get. I don't know.
Currently, the biggest one is the 70 for the. I guess you're saying that, and Aguilar's like, well, if cargo capacity is your concern, after the merchant trader is the provincial merchant, which is a pretty steep increase in sort of ship size. You've gone
Oh
from
my God.
a 300-ton ship to a 1,000-ton ship.
Oh God.
This is basically this is purely and pretty much a hauler, right? It's jump one, thrust one, so there is a 100-ton mountable fuel tank, but the cargo bay is 758 tons. Minus that mountable fuel tank, you're looking at 658 functional tons. This ship also has a 20-ton ship launch, 5 standard staterooms, and only 2 low berths. 2 double sandcasters, which are basically just for defense. Of course, those are all things that you could retrofit. This ship, as far as mortgage goes, though, you're looking at almost 500,000 credits per month. So you want to make sure you're using that storage space, or that cargo space,
Yeah.
and maintenance is 13,500 per month. This ship also has a basically an AI in the ship's computer that has its own chassis, so it can walk around and function and perform maintenance
That's
around the ship
What?
as well.
Hey, look at the bottom of that though.
The crew the crew that runs this this mothball fleet has noticed the ship's brain can be mercurial. Is the way she would put it. Yeah.
So, how expensive is this miniature golf course going to be to remove?
She kind of shrugs. It's something you could probably all do on your own. It would just take quite some time. I mean, space is sort of the
You got time.
the best trash
And
garbage dump there
severely
is.
damaged hull.
Yeah, mechanic. Well, yeah. So some of its hull points, it has decreased a level of hull points.
Okay.
Severely damaged. Yeah.
It's gonna be an expensive repair to fix it back up, I assume.
Yeah. You would. That's what the report says. You would have to actually look at it to see how much that damage actually is. But
Right.
yeah. And then the final ship is basically an equivalent of the Saber 4, that ship you were looking for.
Mhm.
One of the previous mining company has gone defunct, so they do have an ore carrier in their fleet. This is a 1.01 million credits per month in terms of mortgage. 25,000 credits per month in terms of maintenance cost. It does have a cargo bay of 890, and it is jump tube capable. At 1,500 tons, this is by far the largest ship. There are also 8 standard staterooms, a double turret with a beam laser, but
Stinky
it has
life
many
support.
stinky life support. Sensors are also damaged on this ship, and yeah, the cargo bay is tainted by various bad things that they've had in it. So vulnerable cargo
I
can be
was gonna
damaged.
ask. All of these ships, are they all under the assumption of they're supposed to be run by like a 5-man crew, or is it exponentially get higher manned crew as we get more expensive?
They all can be run by a 4 to 5 man crew. The provincial merchant and the ore carrier would the ore carrier especially the provincial merchant and the ore carrier would benefit from additional crew in terms of engineering staff or cargo loading staff, but it's not a requirement to run the ship. Give me a second, I can pull up some actual
sure.
specs.
Also, just thinking about for just to air out my thoughts, if we get more expensive ships, obviously a payout of more transport, we're also going to need to hire more staff. More than likely.
I
Yeah.
think the provincial merchant would be as big as we would want to go.
Yeah.
And I mean, if we kept I think that it depends. Like you asked earlier, do we plan on going to a location and staying there like a week, or do we plan on staying on the move? Because if we're staying on the move, I don't think the huge ship is the way to go. And it has 5 standard rooms, which means we could put bunks in the 5th room, hire 2 guys to just handle cargo, loading and unloading, and we could keep it running that way pretty well. But that's if we're bouncing from place to place constantly.
The provincial merchant, as far as recommended crew, is a captain, which can also fulfill any other role you sort of need. A pilot, an astrogator, again, could also be two people, although this party has those as individual people. Two engineers, and it lists 5 gunners. Although, because there are 2 turrets, but basically the gunners are, you know. So really, you're looking at a captain, a pilot, 2 engineers. The nice thing with the ship's brain is, and the reason it says Brian is the type of ship's brain, which I guess if you guys want to roll me, if you want to roll me a computer in education computers electronics computers check, you could know kind of what type of computer a Brian is. But if it has a chassis that it can move around, it could also function as another member of the crew. It functions basically as a crew member.
Check?
Yeah, computers education. Computers, yeah, electronics.
Computers.
11.
Yeah, a Brian is a advanced computer. It is um, essentially AI, artificially intelligent, but you would know that it's not a true AI in the sense that it can process and make decisions independently, and it has some not intuition, but
Is it kind of just more of a personality?
it has no, it definitely has its personality is definitely programmed, and can adapt. But oh gosh, I think the explanation in here is probably the best way to actually give this to you. It
Okay.
because it goes into a little bit of detail.
Yeah.
Give me 1 sec. But you keep talking amongst yourselves while I find that. Oh,
Yeah.
never mind, I found it. The robot has general intelligence and communicate and interact with its environment in a manner that emulates a sentient being. Communication and actions are literal and formulaic, with the potential for unexpected or unfamiliar circumstances to cause some confusion. Oh no, that's wrong. It's very advanced. It's the next level up. The robot is highly intelligent, capable of logical reasoning, and can attempt functions outside of its programmed parameters. It is not conscious, but appears to be so, and considers itself to be conscious without fully understanding the concept. That was the part that I thought was interesting, where it talks where it's that weird middle ground where the computer is smart enough to think it's sentient without really understanding what it means to be sentient. Because the next level is a self-aware computer that's a person.
Right.
Very advanced robots can perform at capabilities similar to or superior to biological sentience in a broad variety of skills. A very advanced computer, which is what this would be, can develop interests and hobbies outside of its programmed functions. And very advanced computers can attempt tasks up to a very difficult 12 plus difficulty. So basically, certain levels of advanced computers can't even attempt tasks if they're too difficult. So this can go up to 12, a 12 up check.
So you're describing that we'll have a data, except without the sentience part.
Yeah, because Data
is
a self-aware computer. Data is the next level down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, there's 2 more levels. There's self-aware, and then there's conscious, and he would be conscious.
Yeah, because he was very self-aware. He was the first sentient robot, I think. So this is like a step down from him, like slightly. Yeah.
A conscious robot is a fully conscious being in every aspect. It can exceed its parameters and limitations and has the ability to develop true emotions and ambitions that might not conform to the expectations of its biological creators. That's kind of Data. Although Data maybe is kind of like, yeah.
But yeah, honestly, the AI makes it interesting. Makes it, at least to me, it sounds interesting. But if this AI will but if the AI like changes its moods on a whim, I don't know if I would want to deal with that.
Can I ask a meta question?
Sure.
Is this campaign we've moved to, is this very sandboxy, or
Yeah.
okay? So we're literally kind of picking this ship as kind of picking how we want to play the game, I think.
I think it'll definitely have an impact, yeah.
Because if we take like this ship, we are really going to have, like I said, we're going to have to keep moving.
Yeah.
Whereas if we went with the smallest ship, it's jump to capable, it's cheap to operate. We just hop to a location, we spend a week or 2 there doing missions, we hop to another location, spend a week or 2 doing missions. So it's kind of what do we want to do more?
Can we see the second ship again?
Which one? The free trader?
Yeah, okay.
That was
yeah,
the
it
second
free
one.
trader.
Or the
Yeah, that
jump
was one
cutter.
with the leaky core.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
I was, because I
The
feel
the
like. Go on.
I was just gonna say the cutter I think would be like the middle one because
Yeah, because
Theoretically, with a cutter, you could make these 3 staterooms double bunks and get an extra 30 tons of cargo space by dropping your pressurized shelter. Or you could, yeah.
yeah, because like if we want best of both worlds, the modular can adapt as we need it.
this is true.
Other modules, I guess if it helps, make an informed decision. Some other modules, and I mean, I think there's probably room there to like, if you guys want to pay extra money to design your own module. Some other modules,
Yeah.
vehicle cradle module can fit 1 or more vehicles up to 15 tons. Probably actually up to, yeah, about that. Personal transport module, which is just like a ton of jump seats, so it's not really functional for a jump ship. There is the cargo transport module, which is already in there. The fuel skimmer module, an assault boat module, which includes acceleration seats for soldiers, as well as like a that's basically like a drop ship. Fighter frame modules, if you wanted to like have little fighter ships in your ship. The pressurized shelter module, a gunship module, which has more weapons. And yeah.
Oh, that is the downside to this one is it comes with no weapons, so
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
we did get attacked. We're just sitting ducks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the question is, will we get enough money to put weapons on it before we get attacked?
Well, we'd have to drop a module to do that, so
Right.
I think theoretically you could probably mount weapons onto the exterior hull of the ship. It would just be more of a custom job.
So the modular jump cutter seems like it would be the best because we could do both. We could
A lot of
do,
things.
yeah, we could do the cargo transfers, and also we can go to a place, land, do planet side jobs, and not be missing out on the insane mortgage every month.
ooh, I just had a thought. These
Mhm.
things are like the big rigs of space. Is there like drop jobs where you just drop a module, pick up a module, cargo modules?
Oh yeah, like they do with semi trucks. Pretty much.
Yeah, drop trailers.
That would be cool.
Possibly. Yeah.
Because that could be a good way to help pay for it if you were just doing that. Because you're just basically we're taking those back two modules, those cargo modules, and we can just drop them. Then we don't need extra crew because we don't need to load and unload cargo. If that was a thing.
Yeah.
We'll need to make sure to get a warehouse
I guess
to
the
store our extra cargo.
yeah.
How how expensive are warehouse or like ship?
We have to go to the
Housing?
space marina.
Yeah. Get a slip. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, because the cargo module itself costs about 1.2 million credits. Yeah, so I don't know if like yeah, I don't know.
Do you think it'd be more
I think it
like?
probably functions as more of a cargo bay where you still have to load and unload it. But it's, 30 tons is something you guys could load and unload.
Mhm.
Or we drop both of those and just get more pressure out of shelters, and we can be people haulers then.
Yeah.
Ooh, I wonder how many low berths you can get in one of those.
I mean,
Good question.
I will say we could advertise ourselves as like, if you need something transported that's like a little bit hard to get somewhere, we like call us and we got you, because we are very like with this ship we are very flexible with what we can transport.
Like the Ghostbusters, and have a horrible TV commercial just like the Ghostbusters.
If we do go with this one, I would like to get a new seat as soon as possible. And the sensors, because we use sensors quite a bit. At least so far, we've used sensors quite a bit.
Yeah, we
So
probably want to
that
get
would,
those repaired,
yeah.
like an
Are we able to go out?
ASAP.
Hey, let's travel back to Tech World.
Are we able to go out there and inspect each of these ships like personally before we choose one, or
Yeah. Um, did you want to inspect all of them? She can arrange for a shuttle to take you out to see a couple of them. Well, I guess they're all probably in the same graveyard. So yeah, she can arrange for a shuttle to take you out to see them.
okay? Because we can also assess, because like obviously if damaged sensors means that like this thing has effectively no sensors, that's very different.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like set prices to repair these issues, or
Yeah,
how's that work?
yeah, there is. But you'd have to go do like a ship, or shipwright or whatever to actually get like a quote on those.
I mean, the sensor seems like a big deal, but a completely repairable one. The foul smelling vents when we land, that's external, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You
probably
don't
becomes a little internal a little bit, but yeah.
we can paint over stains, buy a new seat.
I mean, we could also reupholster seats and stuff if we need to.
I don't want to know what the stain was, and I don't want to be sitting on it.
I don't either.
Oh, you know what? I will say, I didn't really think about it, but if we ever do turn this into like a people hauler to transport people, we're gonna have to deal with those stains, because people are probably, I assume when they mean suspicious stains, they mean like it looks very obvious that this place was held people at one point, and then those occupants are no longer with us. That's what I assume it means.
I mean, they're unknown origins. They're just kind of suspicious. Like, what could that have possibly been?
Yeah,
And how did it get there?
reoccurring customers should be nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if we take this one, we're definitely starting out as I think just a cargo hauling company.
But it also allows us for the meantime, in the short term, to run around on planets too for more than a day and
Yeah,
still not be losing boatloads of money.
we still do have to go to planets to find cargo as well. So no matter what, we're always going to have to spend a day or two on a
Yeah.
planet to do something.
But this way we can actually do other things on the planet other than just going looking for cargo and leaving.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
could
which is another
land,
why we
spend a
chose
couple
gold.
days, send somebody to the casino to gamble to get more money,
Well,
while the rest of
I
us
will.
do odd jobs.
Yeah, I will say if we obviously this is like just to make the argument for argument's sake. If we go for the bigger one, at that point we're dealing with companies and making
Yes.
company deals and being like, hey, we have a big carrier, and so if we work out a contract, money might not really be an issue at that point.
And we do have a good start with a good name with Landmark.
Yeah.
The other thing I'll throw in that you would all probably know, but especially 428, I think would have some base understanding of is the sort of typical routine for merchants is like 1 to 2 jumps a month, basically, where because you end up spending a couple days, maybe a week in. They would do that. They end up spending that much time in like at a port, doing their like monthly maintenance, and giving the ship's crews some shore leave. Like that's sort of a like a known understanding is that you have to give your ship some sort of shore leave. So you guys, even if you're operating that big of a ship, you could still potentially spend like a week or so on planet at some points. And if it's like a particularly high paying job, maybe you spend a little bit longer. But that is also I think you guys have identified a potential point though, is that like your potential big point is that your freedom to do things is a lot different with a smaller ship. But either way has upsides and downsides.
Yeah.
And I mean, right now, 70 tons, that is a lot more than than we had with the cuttlefish.
We had what, 40 tons? No, we didn't have that,
20.
did we?
It had like
20.
26.
You were like 26, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we took part of it out for a
Mm.
what's it called, medbay.
Med day.
Didn't we make a profit margin of about what 150 to? I think it was about 150 for what cargo we did with that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty fucking
But
solid.
that was literally just the base. We couldn't take any of the higher tier cargo, which was the more expensive cargo.
Yeah. I mean,
So like that was with the base. With this, we could probably get a little bit more of the higher tier cargo and
yes.
still make a boatload of money while being still kind of
flexible.
yeah, able to jump
Now,
around and do our own thing at the same time.
what's the price for the next ship up? Was the merchant one? Because it's got even
It's got
more
97
cargo.
and a half. Yeah,
That's
it's got a lot.
Cargo, yeah.
It's like I mean it's almost triple the mortgage, but you are looking at a lot more cargo. It comes with weapons, and it is jump 2, but
And
you only have the 4 standards stateroom.
And the thing with jump 2 is that we're having to give shore leave and things like that. A jump 2 is 1 week in space to get 2 parsecs, where a jump 1 you're having to spend 2 weeks in space to get 2 parsecs.
Right.
True. Although we have to have everybody strapped in at all time, like when we're exiting jump space.
That is true.
Which
my question is, the cargo has to be properly secured. That means every single jump we have to, if we fucked up our check, we could be looking at damaged cargo.
yeah,
That is true.
I still like the ship, but something to keep in mind: we could be really fucking up our cargo if we don't do. I think we want to hire someone, like an expert.
With this ship, the Merchant Trader, would there be a way to fix that jump exit issue, or no?
You'd have to look at it, and it could potentially be expensive. I mean, anything with a jump drive, you would sort of know is going to be probably
expensive.
Yeah.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of for everyone. Do y'all want to just go ahead and investigate all of the ships we've looked at so far and get a tally of what the approximate repair cost would be? And then we could decide based off that?
Sure, that sounds reasonable to me.
Yeah. If you
They're
think you can
obviously
come
checking.
up with a ballpark on it.
I mean, I'm a great engineer, and I have 2 broker now. I think fairly solid.
I mean, I might be able to help you with some of the fixing of stuff because I do have mechanic at 0, but I do have mechanic.
I will say too, it's gonna be all of us checking the ship.
Yeah.
Unless Henry, how would that? Would that be a task chain with all of us
It would be
doing
like a
it?
task chain if you wanted to all do it. Yeah.
Wow. Hmm. I mean, what would the checks be for a task chain, or would you want us to come up with that?
You gotta tell me how you're helping each other, how you're all working together.
All right. I would definitely be checking the engineer diagnostics.
See,
Well,
I
you gotta
feel
get
like
to the
you'd be
ships. You gotta
best
get to
with
the
the
ships
broker.
first. Yeah.
Oh, true. Broker as well.
Why don't you guys talk about what skills you would use to how you're gonna check the ships and maybe which ships you want to check. I will be like right back in like 30 seconds, maybe 45.
Cool.
Did anyone pick up engineering, or is it still just 428 with it?
I'm training engineering as my study period type thing, so I didn't take it, but I can if we want to. I will spend the
I guess
XP to
we
get it.
I guess we'd have
Oh,
to ask Henry how he is with that since you're currently training it.
Yeah, because I'm only at what like 1 week, I think.
Oh yeah,
So it's like I'm not.
it's easy to just say you were specializing from there.
Yeah.
the only 2 I don't have between engineer and electronics is comms and remote ops. Everything else I have a 1 or a 2 in.
Well,
I was
I have remote ops, which is great. I love it. But does anybody have comms? I think we've just been using
no,
electronics.
I've been training in comms, and that's the same reason I didn't take it because I'm training in it,
Mm.
Yeah.
and
I don't know if it,
it would take me to a 1, and then I would have to train another whole week to. I'd be stuck in comms for 2 weeks, taking it to a 2.
Oh, I see.
Oh yeah, another study period. Yeah.
Yeah, that's if I didn't fail this one. If I failed this one, I'd be like, I should stay in the 1.
well, I mean, looking past that, I definitely think with the checking, or does anyone else have broker?
No.
No.
I think you're it.
Yep.
I reckon broker and engineer is going to be 2 separate checks.
I considered taking up broker so we would have a second broker, but I didn't know how important it was to have 2 brokers.
Apparently,
I
very.
mean, someone neutral in broker at least.
I think it's important for securing cargo and getting better cargo prices, but it's only
Yeah.
one person. It's only one person that can make that check. Like it's not like somebody can fail the broker check and someone else comes in and goes like,
So,
"Now let me negotiate these prices."
Yeah.
so, just a question. This task chain that we're doing, it's just to inspect the ship. It's not to inspect the ship and negotiate a price.
No, you guys would need. You guys will need to go to a high class starport with a good like shipwright to actually do that sort of stuff. And it's just to estimate what you think to see if there's well yeah, I mean it's a couple things. One, these are the known issues. There may well be other issues with these ships that they just did not look because they were fine because they didn't do like a they just went through and mothballed them, right? They shut down all the systems, kind of got everything secured so that they can just kind of like be anchored in space. So maybe you guys uncover more issues, and then as well as diagnosing what the known issues are and what those costs will be.
So just for
Something
It's
else
not
we're
yeah.
just
something
for
else we
in.
were talking about while you were gone.
Mm-hmm.
I was currently doing training in comms, so I was not going to increase comms, and same thing with Alex. He was currently training in engineering, so
Yeah.
he was not going to use a general XP on engineering.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if he used engineering, that would free Doom up for the broker check.
Mm-hmm.
Is there going to be a broken check?
I think using the XP points invalidates the study time you've got for those skills because it's sort of like you sort of
Yeah.
figured that information out that you've already studied, so that doesn't carry over to like the next potential level.
Is there going to be a broker check on just the investigation of the stuff to figure out how much it's going to cost?
Or that'd be
Um,
more of an admin check.
Yeah.
that's that's a good question. I mean, I feel like a lot of that stuff goes down to you. I mean, you could, I guess you could make a case for either. Broker sort of makes sense, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe admin does as well.
I popped in a chat to say what I'm thinking for how task chain would look. What do y'all think?
You guys also can do different things. Like if this task chain is for diagnosing a major issue and someone else wants to go off and do something else, that doesn't have to be part of the task chain. That could just be something that someone else is doing in that same time period.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot that I could help with some of these. I was just gonna check on like weapon systems. In general, electronic things. I'm not that smart.
I figured like a physical check for your character, like you're literally just gonna walk around and look at things and be like, okay, that's a loose panel. That doesn't work. That looks funky. Like
You have spent a lifetime on
Yes.
ships. That could totally
I
be a
have.
recon check.
It could. Yep, that does sound good. And she will probably give special attention to the weapons because those are her babies. She loves them.
I mean, we also do have to factor in like gunner because we're probably gonna want weapons on our ship. I reckon you'd have an idea of what we want to look for.
Oh yes, my character Jinx will not be in a ship without weapons. That's stupid. So she will make sure that there are some kind of guns on this ship eventually.
A lot of them don't have. Oh yeah, eventually, yeah.
Eventually, yeah.
Okay. So how do we feel about Jinx doing a physical check of the ship and then doing like diagnosing the weapons and seeing what would be best for this ship? So the
Ooh,
next
the
thing
electrics check could be a sensors check, right?
that makes
Mhm.
sense, yeah.
Because that would kind of handle like checking the ship, not just its electrical components, but you're looking at the status of its J drives and
Yeah.
everything too. You're
Yeah,
doing a
I
full
feel like,
readout on it.
yeah, like a functionality test to see what
Yeah.
all is actually working.
Which ships
And
are
then
you
the
guys wanting to look
mechanical
at?
test.
I think 1, 2, 3, and 5.
The 1, 2, 3, and 5.
I
Are
was
we looking at the
between.
free trader?
I was looking at the merchant trader or the cutter.
Okay.
Yeah, those were the two that I feel the most comfortable with those two.
Yeah,
Where
I
it's
feel
stretching
that
on
one
5.
over the free trader.
Yeah, when he was describing the ships, the what was it, the modular cutter? I'm pretty sure that was the one I was like, that one was high on my list.
Okay.
It
Yeah,
stuck in my
Cutter,
mind.
yeah.
cutter
I'm
and
between.
merchant.
Yeah, I'm between the cutter and the merchant. Those are the two that I like because the merchant trader it's expensive, yes, but it also has a little bit more cargo
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's kind of
space that
everything
we
we
can
want too.
use. It also has the weapons, and it's a jump and
Yeah.
thrust too, so that's
Yeah.
good. Whereas the modular one, it doesn't have the weapons, but it's much cheaper. It has a lower tonnage on its cargo, but I'm fine with that.
It's flexible.
It's flexible and you can do a lot of things with it.
Do we want to look
Yeah.
at the provincial, or do we think that's just too big?
I'm open to looking at it, but I also want to hear what y'all think.
I
I
mean,
would.
if we find out it's got the least issues out of the bunch, it could potentially still be worthwhile.
But that one's big, big cost, big cash out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's only really like double the cost of the merchant, and it has 6 times the cargo.
Yeah. Almost 7 times.
That's why I say like, if that one is, it's expensive, but holy shit, if you could fill out that cargo, you are getting a payout. And am I mistaken, Henry, in thinking that this provincial merchant ship is like pretty beefy?
What do you mean?
Like beefy
Size
as in
wise.
health, like it's a strong ship. It takes a lot to take it down.
It's a good question.
It has
It
that severely
it
damaged hull.
The hole is it's
Yeah.
part
really
of our
damaged.
check?
Yeah, so it's going to
But
be a little bit. Yeah.
if we
The
get it
hull doesn't
fully
take a lot.
HP'd up,
Yeah, it
repair
ought to
those
be.
hull points.
It just looks
Yeah.
like a beefy boy.
Yeah.
Up
Yeah.
armor the front and make it a ram sled.
The
I think we will have to factor in crew though, as
Yes.
about.
Oh yeah.
We're not being able to operate that with just us.
Yeah.
Or we shouldn't, at least.
That's why I'm between the
Oh.
cutter and the merchant trader.
We also had to figure out how much fuel per jump too,
Mhm.
because there's fuel prices to consider.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's what 20% of the whole
I mean, like,
200.
while yes, honestly, I feel like with this merchant ship, it's one of those things where it's really expensive to run, but if you're using it as intended, you're gonna be fine because you are going to have the money.
Yeah, I mean it's the whole points. I won't give you the specific numbers because you have the damaged hull, so you'll kind of have to diagnose that. But it is definitely a fair amount more than like the merchant trader. But you're going from 300-ton ship to a 1,000-ton ship, right? You're going from like somebody's personal yacht to a cargo like freighter.
See, I almost feel like we drop out the merchant trader, and it's either 1, 3, or 5, small, bit, medium, or going all out.
I mean, we could just Henry. Is it unreasonable to assume we could just spend a few days investigating all 4 ships?
That's probably fine. Yeah.
Why don't we just
I would say probably not all 6, but yeah, if you give me 4 ships, you could do that. Yeah.
Would it be one check for all of
Each
it, or
ship.
are we doing a check for each one?
So check on each ship. Yeah.
So we could just do the same check for each ship and figure it out.
Yeah, but the ships have different issues, so there'll be different check. Yeah.
So what would be our fourth? We got the cutter, the merchant trader, the provincial merchant, the seeking miner ship.
I think that's what we're looking at. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that one. I mean, it still has potential, just in as easy as it's going to as cheap as it is to maintain. We can get out and do a lot of stuff with that one.
Yeah. Got to figure out how to make it a little quicker to respond though.
Yeah. Well, that's part of this check. That's why I feel like it's worth checking.
Yeah. We're already going to be out there, so.
Okay. So,
Can I take a look at the slide that has the ore carrier on it again?
yes.
I just want to take a look at the inside because
While
that
you
is
look at
a
that-
lot.
That will give me a second. open.
Common area. Fresher. Staterooms. Ship's locker. Fuel processor. Dang.
I try to do something to let Courtney see things.
If you want, I can try to click in and hope that Discord doesn't crash.
See, that one though,
It's up
it's
to you.
so much more expensive, and it
I don't
really
know.
doesn't have that
I
much
mean-
more cargo.
Here,
It's just a jump. I think it's a jump. Is it jump 2? Or is
Oh
it jump 1?
Yeah,
I
it
think
is
it's
jump
2.
2.
Oh, there she goes. Yeah.
It worked. I can see.
Oh,
Thank
oh,
God.
it worked. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why it didn't work at the other one, but yes.
I heard,
so
heard
this
oh my
is
god,
our
and then you disappeared.
Oh,
Or
no,
then,
no, no, no,
Then
no,
the
that would've been
sound,
bad. No,
the
no,
connection
no.
sound sounded like you disappeared.
No, but I can see. This is great.
I was just gonna
while
take
you're-
a screen grab of each one and
Gotcha.
post it in the chat if necessary.
I was gonna drop them on a Roll20 page.
Okay.
But here, so if Courtney, you can see. I'll
I
when
can
scroll
see
through them real quick.
clearly now.
Discord's not gone. Seeker mining
Yep.
ship is the first one. This is the small and quick ship.
And then we got a Dorito.
Yep, it is a Dorito.
It is
It's
a Dorito, yep.
It is the whole shape of the scout ship, and the free trader are the like 2 original traveler ships. It's like the classic. These are like you've got the free trader, which is the one with the leaky reactor core. This is what 428 was flying beforehand.
Yes, I definitely don't want a leaky reactor core.
You've got the modular jump cutter, which kind of looks like this. This is its deck plan basis. Let me know when you're ready to move on. Sorry, I'll wait for you.
Oh, okay.
Or if you want
Okay,
to go
so
back.
the jump cutter is still high on my list. Okay, you can go to the next
Next one is the merchant trader. This is the jump 2 capable one. Thrust 2, also
okay.
quicker in a fight. Actually starts out with weapons, both offensive and defensive weapons.
Oh.
But it is a little bit more expensive, or quite a bit more expensive.
I mean, the external hull stuff, we can always just paint the ship. I mean, it's not that bad.
Get the hollow hull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The merchant trader doesn't sound that bad either. Honestly.
Yeah.
Okay, next please.
Next one is the big boy. That's the provincial merchant.
Oh. Wow. Double turn. Jeez.
And in my brain, I feel like this is the
cargo
that's
door?
got to be like the cargo door, right?
Yeah,
It opens
has
up
to be.
huge,
Has to
just
be.
to boom, put things in and out. Yeah. This one, it's on there. I don't know if you guys talked about it. This one also comes with a ship's launch, a 20-ton, like looks like a little, basically like a little.
It has a miniature golf course. Oh my god. That's funny.
Like a shuttle. Got the Delta Flyer.
Okay. There's a Delta Flyer? Oh.
It's just a ship's launch. It's not that fast, but yeah.
Hey, whatever.
Yeah, you could pull a Tom Paris and build your own Delta Flyer.
Exactly, and get to warp 10.
Yeah. And then the ore carrier is the last one, which is the.
Okay. I don't think we can afford the ore carrier. That is really expensive.
I was going to ask something for cargo purposes. We've only ever hauled regular cargo. What is our average looking for high-end cargo? Like, what are we looking at with that?
Shit. It's over. Hey, wow. Well, good little finger picking, Henry. I got right to the passage and freight page.
Nice.
Yeah, freight per ton. That's just so. I mean, freight per ton it's a standard like fee, and it depends on the parsecs traveled. So 1 parsec traveled, you're looking at 1,000 credits per ton of freight. If you go 2 parsecs, you're looking at 1,600 credits per freight. 2,600 credits per ton for 3 parsecs. 4,400 credits per ton for 4 parsecs. 8,500 credits per ton for 5 parsecs, and 32,000 credits per ton for if you're traveling 6 parsecs, if the destination is 6 parsecs apart. But
hey, Hets, can I use
Yes.
the calculator for a second?
Calculator, yeah, what you need.
So that provincial merchant,
Mm-hmm.
fully loaded, just shy of 1,000,000 credits for a 2 parsec cargo for a cargo trip.
Never mind. Gino got it.
But
Yeah, I
that
mean,
would also be taking up 2 weeks out of the 4 that we have total. Plus, we need 1 week for maintenance. That leaves what, pretty much 1 week that we're able to pretty much do anything other than the.
we'd be spending that
Yeah,
week
so
probably getting cargo.
Yeah.
yeah, the week we're having maintenance done, is the week we can be out doing things.
Ah,
So
fair.
Yeah.
Maybe you hire someone to do that maintenance, or which I guess could just also be the station staff if you're at a station.
well, if we take this one and has a artificial intelligence, that's great for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's one. It functions as one crew member. It's only got one body, but yeah,
And
it definitely
keep
can
in
do
mind
that.
too, Hex, if we go big boy, we're not talking like going out to the streets like flyers with like who needs cargo. At that point, we're like going to companies and being like, hey, we have a big ass ship. We can haul a bunch of stuff for you. I mean, assuming
I'm
that's
imagining
not
you're going into
FNG
a
is sitting on a
boardroom and
level
just.
2 broker.
I'm just
Yeah,
imagining
I
you
think that.
going into a boardroom and it's just like, I got this big ass ship. You got shit that needs moved.
You
We
got big
got a
ass shit that
deal?
needs to be moved.
I mean, am I wrong?
No, I mean I feel like that does make sense in terms of like what it actually looks like when you're looking at the what are the major cargo lots, because there's such high tonnage that those have to
Yeah.
be those are negotiations, yeah, with like larger companies versus like somebody's moving house, and that's like a incidental cargo lot where it's 1D tons of freight versus 1D times
Yeah.
10 tons. Yeah.
And so I think you're shooting for like 3 and 4 parsec trips with this thing. You go to a
Right.
planet, you spend a week having maintenance done on it, having it unloaded and loaded up with fresh cargo, and then you spend that week there. We spend there doing fun shit, and then we pack up and we do another 3 parsec jump to another place and do it all over again.
Yeah.
I kind of wish it was a jump too.
I do too. That's the one thing
Like,
I would really like jump to.
Yeah. I mean, it's from our options. It seems like a jump two is kind of a fairly large leap for a ship, for at least what we're looking at. Because the only one's the merchant trader, and that ship, as far as I can tell, is a fairly advanced ship.
yeah, the
There's
Well,
merchant
two.
trader or
the
the
little guy.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
or the ore
it's the
carrier.
war
Or
carrier.
yeah.
Ah,
And go back to the merchant trader. So here's the other side of that though. The merchant trader doing that same 2 parsec jump. Yeah, you get there in 1 week, but you're only making 145 ish. So you'd have to do 2 weeks worth of jumps just to pay for the ship and have a little left over.
I have another question. What are the
You need
odds
fuel.
that we always get a full cargo hold
Yeah.
with the big one?
Also,
yeah.
Because
also based
isn't
on die
it?
rolls.
Yeah, isn't it? If you want to accept it, you have to have the space to take all of it. You can't take part of it.
You have to take the so for instance, if you were say you came into spaceport and you wanted to see what major cargo they had, you would do a roll, and that would let us know how many lots worth of cargo there are. And like, so say, okay, it's like there's 2D lots. So I just rolled 2D, that's 7 lots. Each lot is composed of 1D times 10 tons of freight. So you can split up the number of lots. You can take like, hey, if there's 7 lots, I'm only going to take 6 lots, but you can't split up an individual lot. So um, if
Okay, I think I
the
had that wrong
if
then.
you
Yeah.
so say if you have 5, yeah, because this is the thing we've tried to figure out every time, and I've never been able to like wrap my mind around it. And I read a bunch of Reddit articles and watched a video and finally got that like you can split up, you can take um you don't have to take all the lots, but you have to take all of the cargo in an individual lot. That is the
So
the divide. So some lots, so like one major lot might be only 20 tons of freight, and then 3 others might be 70 tons of. That's only 1D, isn't it? 60 tons of freight. And say like, oh, okay, well, I've got a couple. I got the small one. I got like 2 of the big ones, and I've got like 30 tons of space left. But all the other lots are like 40 or 50 tons. Then that's 30 tons of cargo space. You just have to leave empty because there's no lot small enough to fit in there. You could fill that up with minor cargo possibly, but yeah.
yeah, you could number puzzle your way through it though.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense than. I thought that if you tried to take
I
any of the lots, you just had to take all of the lots.
No, I think we did that at one point, and that was wrong on my part. But I think it also is you guys didn't really have you didn't really have the ability to play those numbers games when you only had 26 tons of cargo space.
Yeah.
Most lots were too big for us.
Exactly. Like any major lot is going to be, unless you're rolling a 1, and it's 10 tons, it's going to be too big.
Ironically, I feel like the issue with the bigger one is we're gonna have to be fighting other people for the available cargo because we're probably gonna clear house at a lot of places we go.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
but
is
you've
a.
got-
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say you've got that too in broker now. That's gonna make a huge difference with that.
Yeah,
Because it's what broker and education are the roles
Yeah,
for that.
I am. Question mark for Henry.
Yeah, just as broker, but yeah, it'd probably be int. I think it's in the moment. But yeah, so there's rolling for major cargo. I think it is probably to that point what you just said, Doom, is a DM -4 whenever you're rolling for the major cargo lots.
So for me, that would be a -1 because we're going off int, right?
Yeah, possibly.
If we can.
And there's other
effort,
DMs. There's population size is a positive or a negative dice modifier. Starport quality is a positive or negative dice qualifier. Tech level, if it's an amber zone,
yeah.
if it's a red zone. How many parsecs are you traveling? It's DM -1 for every parsec past 1.
So
I guess that is one downside to the big one is we can't go to any like backwaters because we
Yeah.
need to go places where we can get that much cargo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't think it's necessarily a huge issue because if we have to jump longer distances, oh no, it's more expensive per trip. Like the cargo is going to scale better the longer we go. So I don't think it's a huge issue. But we will have to book ahead of time. I think we're gonna have to like book out cargoes like a month or two ahead to make sure.
That's the thing is you'll have to do those rolls when you get to the
because
port.
news can't travel faster than we can.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you won't know when you arrive at a port if there will be enough cargo for you to take in the first place. And that's the volatility of running a interstellar space trucking company.
Yeah, I mean I still think the company runs the best with the big boy, and like contacting independent companies and or big corporate companies and asking them if they want to make a contract. I assume that's how it works. Like hauling companies, they just go to corporates that need haulers. Or
I mean, with the way
reverse.
the rolling system works, it sounds like the companies just use independent contractors, and it's all who can broker the best deals. Sounds like.
Yeah.
Fair.
And maybe you
I
guys
think
build up
regardless
enough
of what
relationship.
size ship we're using, it's going to come completely down to your broker role.
Right.
I fully understand your point. I just think the large ship, like yes, we could get so much money from doing it, that would pay for it. The problem is we don't know if we're going to have all that cargo there. What are the odds that we will be able to do a full cargo load, like
Every
even a
single
half
time.
full cargo load every single time? And also, it seems to take away a lot of freedom from doing other things, like going to smaller places and doing things there, or like if we need to take, say, possibly a month off and do other things on a planet where we're not moving, or we're not moving for like 2 weeks out of the entire month.
I mean,
We're
I will
then just
say in all-
completely losing money on that.
Yeah, but I will say, in all fairness, a lot of the times when we're stopping somewhere to do a job, it's because it's for money. So if we're given a job that just doesn't give us more money than what we naturally make, we just aren't gonna take that job. You know what I mean? Now, if
You
it,
think from a
if
game
it-
perspective too. There will be
Yeah.
there will be possibilities. Doors opened and doors closed
Yeah.
based on which route you choose. So what sorts of and which is what kind of what I think Josh and Alex said earlier too, is like you're sort of tailoring what toys are put in this sandbox based on what ship you take, and not
Yeah.
entirely.
Right.
It doesn't mean like you might find it's like, oh, this job sounds really interesting, and like it's something your character's really invested in doing, but it might run the risk of you guys having to like dive into your own pockets to keep the ship running for another month until you can get back on those routes.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like put you guys in such a bad. I'm not gonna put you guys in such a bad position where there's no way out from you guys from the ship getting repoed. That's always the threat. That's always a threat and a possibility if things go really badly. But like, I'm not gonna like, you guys go do this
Actively
job and
bad.
everything goes well and the ship gets repoed. You know,
Mhm.
but that is a
I mean-
risk by having a big ship and but at
I
the same
will say
time, yeah,
too, it might not hurt just to go ahead and do our investigation checks because
Yeah.
Yeah.
how the
have
how
that
the
extra information.
money will scale will also depend on that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to say go ahead and do that, and then we can
All right,
do a financial
which ships?
evaluation.
Are you going to look at the miner ship, the secret miner ship?
Yes.
Okay.
Did
Free
we just
traders,
want to?
No.
I thought we are still investigating free trade. Or-
Well, I
Uh,
think
sorry,
what you
never
said
mind.
we can
I
do
was
4 or
thinking,
6.
Probably
I
4.
was thinking
Yeah.
merchant. Never mind. Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah. So
The
free trader
The jump cutter,
is no. Jump cutter's a yes.
Mm-hmm.
the merchant.
merchant trader there,
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
and then the provincial merchant.
Okay.
So essentially, we're cutting one out of the upper and lower ends
Yeah.
because we don't want the leaky reactor, and I don't think we have the ability to man or afford an ore carrier.
Yeah, that's a bit of a jump.
Yeah. What was the
The ore carrier, a mega coal or a mega credit
Yeah. So
yeah,
it's
it's
a million.
per month?
It's 1,000,000 credits. Yeah. I was just curious about the crew cost or the crew requirements.
That was
When it was stolen, it was like there was an average crew of what, 5,
Mm-hmm.
and
yeah.
yeah,
Recommended crew: 1 pilot, 1 astrogator, 4 engineers, 1 gunner, and 1 mechanic. That's 8.
8.
Is like a full crew.
Wow.
But you could get away with like I said 5, 4 or 5. But yeah. Okay, so we will kind of like do a little hand wave where it's going to take her a little bit of time to like get a transport organized and let the kind of the on staff maintenance crew out there or like attendant crew out there know So you guys leave the next morning. Maybe you and then maybe you like you got this information from her. She like sent you off the data pad, and this all conversations you've been having have been going on over the next over this day, where you guys have been like hanging out at the lounge and having a drink and eating and talking. So the next morning, you guys set off for the fleet, the graveyard, and it is a couple days in jump. You guys continue the conversations, kind of thinking about things. Which ship do you want to look at first? You get there and one Mister. Where do you go? Noah Windsor, the kind of the engineer in charge of this fleet, and he meets you at the little station that they have set out there. It is basically like a large apartment that just floats in space. There's a couple rooms and a little common area that these guys work out of in shifts. And there's a little meeting room. Which ship would you like to? By the way, nice to meet you, Noah Windsor.
Right, did you know it?
Which ship? Marja, let me know you guys were going to be taking one of our lovely ships here. Which one were you hoping to look at first?
We just want to go lowest to highest.
Yeah, sounds good. Oh, one other quick question before we start. We've been talking about these monthly mortgages. How many installments is that?
It's 40 years.
Oh, so like the entire time we're playing the game.
Basically, the entire time you're playing the game. Yeah. I have the If for whatever reason you guys come into like a billion credits and you just want to pay off your ship, we can address that when the time comes. But yes, they are monthly mortgages over 40 years. That's the standard. And these are all taken into account. The fact that Doom's ship is 50% paid off, so I took away the cost of what was left to what he had already paid off on his ship, plus another 15% for these ships being in some state of disrepair. So this is a massively decreased monthly mortgage from what standard traveler would have you pay on your monthly mortgage. So when I sent that message out, it's crazy. It's a lot of money, a lot of credits.
2 million for the orc.
Yeah.
But just on all those discounts alone, bigger is better.
Yeah.
Because makes bigger differences with percentages the higher your numbers go.
Yeah. You're not going to be able to pick up a big ship like that with these kind of discounts.
So you're looking at the Seeker
So
first?
You're saying Noah is crazy Noah?
Yeah.
Check out this ship here. This here's a good ship. I don't mind that.
Well, the trouble thing he can't do that with the Seeker because the wires are hanging out from everywhere. He's pushing. He's playing. What's that game? With the spinny thingy and the dots. Oh my goodness. Twister. Thank you. It's like human Jenga. What's it called? Yeah.
It's a way to describe it.
Yeah. All right. So, what are you looking at for this ship? What are your checks?
Oh yeah. Jinx Recon. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Sensors. Starheart? Question mark.
Yep.
Me broker? Question mark. Me broker or me engineer? Those are the two.
I mean,
because we do a mechanic check, weren't we?
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Okay, so so for this one, I guess what are you trying to identify the cost of? How much it's going to be to fix the sensors? The sensors in this one work. What are you trying to identify? So and that's the thing is that's why you can't use the same checks for every ship because each ship has a different problem. What's your biggest? The recon makes sense really for all of them because there might just be other things you'll uncover. Same thing with mechanics. Same thing with engineering. But but you're going to do those things and not necessarily have a chance to look at what's an identified problem. You might but you might also uncover unidentified problems. Those you might just find out
So,
3 months down the
so
road when you're in the middle of jump space.
could the sluggish controls be a pilot check? Like, would a good pilot recognize that?
Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah.
I can definitely do that.
And the beeping computer check?
Mm-hmm.
I could also do that.
I can handle the computer check too.
Awesome.
So, Jinx does the first walkthrough.
Yeah, her recon's going to be separate from the task chain. So the task chain is just to identify is going to be working to identify and figure out the cost for a specific problem.
All right, so we're looking at the known issues. She's doing recon checks to see if she notices anything else.
Mm-hmm. Why don't we get Jinx's recon check first, then?
Okay, you got me in the middle of drinking a drink.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Recon. Ooh. And it's int.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 5.
Yeah, it's. I mean, the ship is there's so much chaos without like bulkheads and panelings that you don't really notice much of anything besides what's right in front of your face.
It's too twistery for me.
Yeah, and then Gino, you're looking for the beeping, so that's its own thing. And is the broker check going to be how much to figure out the cost for the beeping or the slow to respond?
I was assuming that the broker is after we've collected everything, we figure out what the the cost of each individual repair would be.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it makes sense. So then, yeah, maybe we can link those in a chain. The one that won't be would be the recon check. So we'll take either the piloting check or the. But then the only thing is the computers check and the piloting check don't make sense as getting a bonus or like a plus or a minus.
Could we have both of us? Like, could we do? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I was also thinking we could do like mini task chains where I do one with Doom following, and then Gino does one with Doom following.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like that.
I think the other
because then
I
he has the information from both and like does it that way, or do it individual while he's running the checks. I do mine backwards.
Yeah, I think the other thing I had was that you guys are getting to like do a quick walkthrough and look, versus because whatever ship you choose, you're gonna have to take the time to bring everything up to speed, go through all the flight checks. You're gonna have to take like a couple days, if not like a week or two, just getting the ship functioning again, which is when you would really understand the depth of those issues. So this is kind of doing a quick run through to see if you can quickly diagnose things, which is why like you won't have the chance to go through and do a tally mark for everything. So I think you guys have to kind of prioritize what do you feel is the biggest issue and just get a ballpark idea of what that cost is going to be. So there will potentially be other issues and more costs that you will not identify right now because you're having to do an abbreviated run through of multiple ships in space without like all of your tools, and it's just not a prime environment to buy this used car. But you can do the computers check and the but it'll only be one broker check. So we'll do like a cumulative sort of thing.
Would Mr.
Which is still,
Noah,
which is still just a task chain. Yeah.
Would the engineer, like who's present with us, Noah Windsor, would he at all be able to assist us, or is he simply just telling us what he knows is wrong?
All the information you have has been provided by him and his team, so he's sort of like already done his job.
So what if we did it that our checks? So you know how in a task chain, if I roll really well, like you get so much plus or so much minus.
Yeah.
What about if each one of our checks is an individual plus or minus to his broker check at the end?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying for,
Yeah.
for the cumulative thing is that the electronics and the pilot check won't affect each other, but their net their net
Okay.
effect will
Okay, that
go
makes
into that
sense.
task.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we could
With
so
that.
like with this one, the recon check could be checking the wall paneling, or do we want to keep that separate?
I
And
want to keep the recon check separate because there may be things she might find.
so we can tackle 2 known issues, and she can look for new things.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
And
All
Because
right.
I also like, and this is not me trying to like hamstring you guys. I like having the possibility, it may never happen, of you guys just like a problem cropping up and you guys having to like figure out how to solve that in the moment. I want to leave that the
Right.
potential for that those excitements. That's a little inside, a little metagaming for you.
question for cost.
Mm-hmm.
The way you're going to do it, is it simply just going to be it's X% of the ship's total and like repair cost, or are you actually giving me a number that is going to be the cost?
I'll give you a range, a price range.
Price range? Okay.
Yeah.
Just so I know what to write down.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
who do we want to start first?
Did Jinx ever roll a recon?
It's
Yeah.
Jinx did. You failed. She rolled a 5.
I guess I will then. I'm rolling for pilot spacecraft.
Yeah.
And what can I use? Like
I think this is going
any.
to be int
Okay.
or education because you don't actually the ship is not powered up and ready to be flown, so you can't like take it. You can't take it on a spin around the like around a couple asteroids. So you're having to go in and like actually look at the we'll say int int. You're having to go in and actually just like look at the setup and all of the hardware involved in flying this ship.
Do you want just straight intellect, or do you want pilot intellect?
No, no, the piloting, but the int is
Okay.
the characteristic.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a +3. So,
That's for your pilot.
it's a 6. The other one's underneath. That is another. Oh God, that's 2 6s.
Ooh,
So,
boxcars, baby.
what? Yeah, 15.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, you immediately recognize that it is a problem with the M drive itself, and its ability to kind of quickly regulate its power output. Like you can. It's one of those things where you can drive like you're trying to prolong your car's life and slowly accelerate and slowly decelerate, but this ship does not handle well when you like have to go boom punch it and do those sorts of things. So um, it is going to affect your ability to pilot the ship because it just has it has no ability to quickly change things. So it's whatever problem that needs to be fixed is going to have to be fixed in the M drive itself. And a 12. Wait, what was the overall?
15.
15. Okay. Yeah, so that's going to be a +2 for the broker check potentially, unless Gino fails his computer's check.
All right. So as we doing computers and int again, since I'm trying to find a rogue beeping.
Yeah, and as soon as you get on the ship, you have to wait. He like takes you out in his little launch, and goes up to the docking bay, the launch docks, and you have to wait a little while for the ship to power itself up and cycle through the life support to actually have oxygen there for you guys to be able to breathe. But as soon as you step on the ship, it's just this like no real pattern. It's hard to predict. Just like a fire alarm somewhere in the house that needs to be a smoke detector that needs to be replaced, and you just can't like it comes from the cockpit, but you can't. Yeah, you're trying to figure out where.
Disgusting.
Ouch. That'd be a 6.
Okay. All right. All right. Damn, it's way more unforgiving on task chains for fails. Okay. Yeah, your broker check is a net 0 for your friends helping you out.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And int broker.
Yeah.
All right. Don't fail me now, dice. 10.
10. Cool. Give me 1 sec.
I'm guessing the better the check is, the narrower the price range.
Yeah, and like he may have an idea of now the cost to address the maneuver drive, but he doesn't. He's not. It's not. You're not sure what you would need to replace to get rid of the beeping, so he doesn't. He can't really identify what that cost is. Give me 1 sec here as well. Just gotta pull up. Gotta look at tonnages of things versus costs of things, and this is the Seeker mining ship, so I need to get there.
Did you plan on this being 4 hours of ship shopping, Henry?
No, but that's fine. uh, I mean, I'm pleased that you guys can see, you guys feel like that there's positives and negatives for each ship for your party. Uh, in my mind, I didn't know which ship but I just, for some reason, I felt like you guys were going to just be drawn to one immediately. So I'm happy that you guys have options.
And arguments.
feel like
No buyers. There'll be no buyer's remorse here.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe. M drive, there it is. Okay. You feel like it's going to cost, anywhere from 1 to 2 million credits.
All right. We start
Repair.
off strong.
Yeah.
Dang,
That's for
that's
the
a
Seeker.
lot.
That's to, and that would be to do like a fairly decent sized overhaul of the M drive.
Okay. I mean, to completely, that's effectively changing out like a car engine, so it makes sense. It's going to cost a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah, to do a full overhaul, you'd be looking at 4 million credits, but you think you can get by with some of the pieces on it, and yeah.
Okay. So 4 mil total for like everything, but 1 to 2 for functionally
Yeah.
being okay.
Yeah, it doesn't need a full engine swap. It just needs, but it's somewhere in the 1 to 2 million credit range.
Okay. So the 4 million is just how much it costs in total. Is that
Yeah.
okay? Got you. 1 to 2 million. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Next up is the jump cutter.
Yeah, I'm glad we're going through and checking repair costs because wow, that definitely changes things. Jump cutter.
Try to flip to it so we can see the issues.
Yes, thank you. Sorry. There you go.
We want to start out with the recon check because we may want to check one of those issues more than one of these.
Yeah.
Like the suspicious stains will probably be lower on our list.
I mean that's cosmetic. It wouldn't hurt to get a ballpark of how much it would cost, but I don't. Yeah, like you said, I don't think it's that important.
Okay, I rolled recon and I got a 10.
Nice. Um, no, Jinx, looking around the ship, you can. Nothing jumps out to you immediately as problematic. The ship itself seems like, yeah, there are these stains, and they are pretty widespread and diverse in their color and size, and um, spray pattern. For lack of a better word, but like you don't.
Spray pattern?
Yeah, like if something was somebody, like maybe somebody vomited in one section, you don't know if it's vomit or not, or maybe somebody was just like letting a leaky or like a oil covered hydro spanner just drip drip drip, or maybe somebody was disemboweled, or maybe
Disemboweled?
somebody left their like takeaway on the dining table for too long, and it just sort of like ate away. You know, you don't know what the cause is. I'm just naming random things. Not saying that's what it is.
Uh-huh.
Massive alien orgy.
Yeah, the Jackson Pollock bedrooms. But
This was a
the
pleasure
like,
yacht in its previous life.
yeah,
Modular. It's very
that's
handy.
insane. Yeah. But no, you don't notice anything like nothing jumps out to you as like a massive issue otherwise on your stroll through.
Well, that's a good sign.
Yeah, I let
Yeah.
everybody else know.
And you guys know that that's not perfect, right? That's the eye test, but the eye test is a good way to decide if anything like massive is
I mean,
wrong.
as far as our characters know, everything's okay.
Yeah. I think even
I'm
they
happy
know.
to do
Even
the
they know it's an eye
sensor
test.
check on this one.
Yeah. Is Lexian doing anything with this one?
I mean, the sensors are really the only thing that really need done
You could do the mechanic check on the
on the
the
vents.
spout on the vents.
Okay, I can do that. Mechanic 0. I guess intellect, so 1. But yeah. Do you want me to go first or you?
I can go first.
All right, go right ahead.
10.
10. All right, cool. That's gonna be so far a +1. Let's get that mechanics check.
All right, mechanic with intellect +1. That is 9 plus 1, 10.
All right,
Hey. Getting a little
cool.
nervous
That's
now.
another +2, or another
+2?
+1 for a total +2 on the burger
Right.
check within. Yeah.
All right. Well, I also rolled a 10. What do you know?
Nice.
Well, you got your
So
broker dad too, don't you?
10 with my personal skills, and then the +2
Oh,
was
got
from
you. Oh,
y'all.
then the extra +2. Okay. It's like, don't shortchange us.
Yeah.
some things. Um, Gino, you recognize these are the civilian grade sensors in the first place, which is a flat DM -2 to all sensors checks. To both, actually, it's to both electronics comms checks and electronic sensors checks. The sensors themselves being damaged, those sensors checks, you have another, you're going to like, the data readouts are going to be bad. So functionally, that's like another DM -1 you're going to be getting. So whenever you make a sensors check with these sensors on this ship, it's a DM -3. 2 because they're just shitty sensors to begin with, and 1 because they're just damaged. If you wanted to repair and get rid of that -1, 428 would bet that it's probably like 1,000,000 credits, maybe. Give or take, maybe 200,000, right? So we're looking at what, 800K to 1.2 million. If you wanted to upgrade those to military grade sensors, where you just get no DM, so you get rid of the -2 for comms and sensors, that's a little over 4 million credits in terms of a revamp. At a T level, tech level 10 planet, but and then if you want to get, that's for sensors, but it's the sensor suite, which also affects your comms skills though. If you want to improve those to like improved sensors, where you actually start getting positive dice modifiers to comms and sensors, you're looking at not a whole lot more over those military grades. It's still 4 to 4.5 million credits. Advanced sensors, where you start to get not only do you get access to jammers, which you get with the military grade sensors, densitometers, neural activities, you can really like sense tons of things. You're looking at a little over 5 million credits. So just to fix 1,000,000 credits, and that leaves you with a DM -2 for your communications and your sensors checks. To get rid of all the dice modifiers and actually install proper sensors, military grade sensors, call it 4 million credits, plus or minus a couple 100,000 to 200,000. Improved sensors, where you're getting dice modifier, like 4.3 to 4.5 million. And like the elite advanced sensors, tech level 15. I don't even know if there's a tech level 15 planet in the island sector. You're looking at over 5 million credits. So we'll say 1 million to fix, 4-ish million to improve. And with the mechanics check, you think that it's maybe like 200,000 to just kind of redo all the like venting pipes and everything like that. It's hard to tell where the stench is coming from, but I think if you kind of like tear out all the work.
It was how much? Sorry.
200,000.
Okay, so we're looking at a total of 1.2 million credits for a general fix-up, and upwards to 4 to 5 million for a clean fix-up.
All right, off to the next one.
Yep.
Excellent, which is the merchant trader. Yeah. Why don't we start with? There's any questions or anything with the jump cutter?
What was the approximate tech for like the total fix-up? What level of tech would we need to go to?
For
15.
yeah, 15 for advanced sensors, but a tech level 12 planet for improved sensors, which gives you a +1 dice
Yeah,
modifier.
just for improved.
Yeah, tech level 12.
Actually, with that being said, too, the seeker mining ship for the M drive repairs, is there any special tech requirement for that, or is it kind of just anyone can?
No, they're probably tech level 10.
Okay.
What you would
I
expect.
forget that tech level is something to think about.
Yeah. Which you have access to tech level 12 planets in the islands.
Yeah, it just it's gonna vary our routes and things
Yeah.
we want to do.
I rolled an 8 for the next recon check.
All right. Nothing jumps out to you.
This one's looking pretty good too.
So the hull looks like shit, but that's just cosmetic. Do we just want to see if we can really hone in what's going on with this?
Yeah.
These jump exits. Ideally, we'd want probably a J drive check on that, but then we lose our broker check. I feel like pilot could make sense again there.
Yeah. Would pilot make sense?
No, because you don't really do any piloting when you make a jump check. You do the engineering and you do the astrogation check. But even astrogation, I don't know how
So,
astrogation would fit in.
so
Computers or sensors for like checking readouts.
Yeah, I would take that.
and then I have a question. If I were to
Uh-huh.
make an engineering check and use the enough luck to make it a 0,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and then possibly use my psionics to make it a +2
Uh-huh.
or a +1. I don't know. I don't actually have the correct book open for the psionics. I forget where that.
Um, the carbon scoring, is that like bad enough to the point where we would want to inspect it to see if damage has been done to the hull type of deal, or is it just a paint job thing?
It could. I think it might be worth inspecting to determine whether or not it is, if it's purely cosmetic.
Okay.
So do we don't want to do a mechanic check on that maybe, and then I can just do whichever much one makes more sense, computers or sensors on the jump.
Yeah, I mean, if we can't find anything stand out for Lexian, because I mean, I
I
feel
mean,
like a general mechanics check wouldn't hurt either. But go on, Hets.
I can make the engineering J drive check. I could use all 6 of my luck to make it a +3,
I mean, that wouldn't hurt.
and plus whatever modifier I would need. I mean, that is a
So,
technical. I can do that.
well, question. Before you do that, we might want to look at the next up ship to see if we all have proper skills to check, just in case you want to burn any luck for that too.
I mean, the only
The
thing I think
severely
we,
damaged holes, definitely a mechanic check.
yeah,
Yeah, I think mechanics makes the most sense.
And if we do roll bad, I also have my luck to burn for broker, so I can make up for some stuff.
yeah, my mechanic is at 0, so I would have a +1 if I use intellect.
Okay,
So,
not terrible.
like, I can also before the next one use my psionics to increase the or to give me a DM +2 to the next check that I make.
You know,
Oh
you
yeah,
could also use your scrapper skill to figure out what it's going to take to rip out the mini golf course.
I could.
And I have mechanic
Somebody's
too.
using
I
their
could use
player brain.
mechanic on the whole.
I mean, okay, I could do that.
as long as we
You're a
think it's gonna
demolitions
be.
expert.
Ooh,
All right. So which one are we doing first? Merchant trader?
Yeah, you're on the
yeah,
merchant
yeah.
trader right
Okay.
now.
Yeah. So do you guys want me to make a J drive check or a mechanic check?
I'm thinking the mechanic check just to make sure we don't if this thing's got a decreased hull, a hull damage. I
Yeah,
feel like it's something we'll want to know about. That
Okay.
goes
and I
beyond just
can
fixing it.
I can always go back over and investigate the J drive myself.
Once you take ownership of the ship.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
If
Then
if we choose it.
I'll just do a regular mechanic check with intellect. That is 9 plus 1, 10.
Nice. That was mechanics you said?
Just a mechanic check.
Within.
Yep.
All right. Cool. Gino.
Okay. Does computers or sensors make more sense for checking out going through like the data on the G drive?
I think without an engineering check, it's the I think the engineering is the biggest fallback on it. Nah, I get Yuki. You can make the computers check that the difficulty is going to be higher. That's what I will say.
Okay.
But
We think I should burn a couple luck on that. I've
well,
got my int, which puts me at 2.
yeah, you said computer
Yeah.
sensors or you said computers
Or
or
computer,
sensors.
electronic sensors, electronic computers.
Yeah.
I think burning luck would be a good idea.
All right, I'll burn
Yeah.
2 luck on this one. That gives me a +4.
I like either. Sensors is doing some sort of sensor scan on the J drive itself. Computers is like you said, going back through and looking at some of the jump data.
Well, sensors, I have a 1, so burning that 2 luck gives me a +5. So we'll do that.
Yeah.
Which is a 15 total.
Nice. All right. So
Alright.
428. You get a +3, +2 from
Sweet.
Gino, and +1 from Lexian.
Alright. With my skills, it's a +6. Okay, a 10.
All right. 10. You're looking at anywhere from 1.5 to 3 million to address the J drive. The hull itself, Lexian kind of identifies that it is purely cosmetic. But the to address and so that price would be separate. You know, like going back there and having it painted, but that could vary. The J drive, if you wanted to completely get rid of that problem, you're looking anywhere from 1.5 to 3 million credits, and it is something where, like like Noah said, to if everyone's buckled, everyone's strapped in, and uh, all the cargo is properly secured, it's not a problem. Assuming you don't have like super fragile cargo, but yeah, just have to make sure you strap everything in and everyone straps down.
Okay, so I'll type 1.5 to 3 million to fix, but technically functional.
Yeah.
All right, so that's looking at a no added cost to run at least.
Yeah, I mean, even the I mean, technically, at that point, even the jump cutter you can run. Um, like all the ships you could functionally run. You just have
Yeah, I mean,
you
when
know
I say
issues.
yeah, when I say run, I mainly mean in the sense of like, if that technically didn't get fixed for a long time, we would still run operations as normal, just
Yeah.
with an extra caveat of everything needs to be extra secured.
Yeah. All right. Last up, the provincial merchant.
The big boy.
All right. So same thing that's been happening for all of them. He pulls his launch up to it, to the car, to the airlock. You wait a while the ship powers up. And what's the plan for this one?
Is the severely damaged hull easy to assume that's like we can look at it and be like, yeah, that needs repair, or do we need further inspection to?
It's probably a mechanics check like the other one was, like the merchant trader was, to assess that damage.
We want to start with the standard recon check.
Yeah. Yeah, Jinx, you want to do your recon check?
Of course.
Roll high.
Yeah,
You have luck too.
that's true. And this is on which ship?
Provincial merchant.
Zombie
Provincial
The
merchant,
Provincial Merchant. Okay.
the big boy.
So I got a 7,
Okay.
which is not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you know what? I will use 3 luck to make it a 10.
I always forget. We said
You're
it's
supposed to
fine
call it
spending
before.
Yeah, you're supposed to call before, right? Yeah.
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 Oh, then never mind. I
Yeah.
already said it. I put it back. But yes, I got a 7.
Okay. You're taking your stroll around
Mm-hmm.
the ship, and you you go through the airlock. You're popping in, looking in the bedrooms, and you walk into you walk into the cockpit, and the captain's chair is facing the window, and there you just see like this big silver like skull or head, and it turns around slowly, and there is a like I don't know a sort of like robot body, and it turns its head and looks at you. What are you doing on my ship?
For a minute, I thought you were gonna say it was a skeleton. Holy.
No, it's just a yeah. What
Oh,
brings
this
you to
better
my
worse.
ship?
You are Oscar, right?
Oscar, that's my name, and I ask you again, and I ask you to not beat around the bush this time.
Sorry,
What are you
sorry,
doing on my
sorry.
ship?
I will like TLDR it to him, pretty much saying, we have a ship that's blacklisted. We did a favor for
Okay.
Mistress Aguilar, and we're trading off that ship for one of these ships, and we're looking through the ship to see if we want it or not.
I don't know the name Aguilar, but you used Noah's codes to get aboard, so if he says you're alright, I guess you're alright. What can I do for you?
No, we were just
what
checking
favor
out the.
can I
Oh,
provide you?
I mean, we just want to see how much damage the ship has undertaken,
Oh,
and like how much it would be to
The
fix it. You
horror.
know what I mean?
the horror. Okay, do your worst. I'll be here if you need me.
And he turns his chair around. Oscar turns his chair around and faces out. And you can just see the back of his head stroking his metallic chin, looking out the viewport.
I've been asleep for so long.
I bet
Or
you
was
have.
I ever asleep?
I like this guy.
I don't sleep.
uh,
I just
I'll,
dream.
I'll like slowly back out of the cockpit, keeping my eyes on him just in case.
He's continuing to mutter to himself.
And I'll oh, I can link up. I keep forgetting about that stupid link. With
Yeah.
Gino and Lexian and say, so I met the AI on the ship. He's chilling in the captain's chair, muttering a lot. I told him what we're doing here, and he said, okay, do your worst. He recognized the Aguilar name, and
No,
that
he
if
didn't
they
recognize
think...
that name. Yeah.
Oh, he didn't?
No, it was Noah. It was the maintenance guy he knows.
Okay.
He
But
knows.
he said if we're good with Noah, then we're good with him. So I don't know if he's gonna like try to talk to us again, but do you want me to stay at the cockpit to keep an eye on him, or do you need me to rove around some more?
Can you really do anything to stop him? If he wants to do something?
Yeah, could he like just stop us since he is the ship?
Good question. Possibly. He has access to basically all the ship systems.
Okay.
By
That'd
his
be a great
brain.
resource, I will say.
Yeah. But yeah, so I fill them in on what's going on, and I'll just stay by the Actually, you know what? Since I've pretty much done my perusing, I'm gonna go in and talk with Oscar. Obviously, we can hand wave it, but I will want to sit and make some small talk because I am assuming I have never seen like a AI in a body like this for a ship, so I'm just gonna talk to him.
Yeah, probably not, because I think that's like a. I mean, it's not like it's a unheard of thing. It's just not something a pirate ship would feel the need to use.
Yes, so I'm gonna just ask all the weird questions, and it's gonna be a good time.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Oh shit! So I'm trying to put numbers into a calculator, and I'm putting the wrong ones in. I knew that. Okay, now we got. Oh, okay. Cool. Who's doing what?
I'm doing the fun one of seeing using my scrapper skill to see how long it'd take to play a round of golf and then destroy the entire thing.
Yeah. So you're doing
look
that.
into keeping like 1 or 2 holes for us, and how much space that would take up too.
Yeah, leave us
We
a
keep
little
a
bit
putting
of fun.
green or something.
Yeah. Like that. 428's like walking around the ship, like assessing things. Goes through the cargo bay, and Lexian's just playing mini golf. All right, yeah. Give me your scrapper int check.
Scrapper int, so +2.
Mm-hmm.
And that is 8 + 2, 10.
Yeah, I mean that's separate because this one's not going to be a financial cost to fix. So I think you can just identify. It'd take like a week of all of you kind of working to get everything properly torn out without like destroying any of the floor panels or anything like that. A week, and then you can just like dump stuff into space.
We like do it on our next jump.
Yeah. Well, because you can't open the cargo bay doors while you're in jump space.
No, we get it all ready. Like if it's our first
Yeah.
jump, we probably don't have a loaded cargo yet anyway.
No. Yeah, you could probably roll things up. Like, yeah, get it all torn up and taken out. Yeah.
Space, the final dump steer.
It is basically.
Uh-huh.
All right, and then is it Gino doing the mechanics check?
Yes.
All right, hit me.
Okay. Just a second, guys.
Hours.
Mm-hmm.
What questions are you asking Oscar? Jinx.
Probably like about its, like, does it remember its birth? And
I wasn't born. I just came to be. One day, nothing. The next day, everything.
wow, that's incredible.
Like the birth of a newborn star, or maybe the collapsing in on itself and the creation of a black hole, which is what I feel deep down in my circuit boards.
He looks at his chest.
All right, back. Sorry.
Do you
No, welcome
remember
back.
who made you?
Of course, I'm not a fucking idiot.
Hey, you know, when you're born, you don't remember like your birth moment.
I wasn't
didn't know
born,
if
I
that was
just
the
said
same.
that. Maybe you
I
weren't
know,
listening.
but you know what I mean. Once you became conscious,
It's strange. For a canine with those ears, you think you would be a better hearer. I guess a better hearer, but not a better listener. Oh, that's a tragedy.
Can I be tuned in on the Neurojack listening to all this and just laughing hysterically in the cargo bay?
So yeah, it's if Jinx has it on, yeah.
No, she would have turned it. Well, I mean,
Clicked it off. These conversations are private.
Yeah. But and then like she'll ask hobbies, you know, the normal stuff.
I don't care what it costs. I think the ship's worth it just for the AI.
I'm starting to lean that way.
I really want this ship.
Okay, so I'm going to. So I'm just going to burn. I feel like we're already almost at 9 o'clock. We've not even purchased the ship yet. I'm just going to burn my last 3 luck, so that I'm coming into the mechanics check with a +5 because we want this damn ship.
Yeah. My question is, I should have asked. So maybe you guys can both answer me this. When you're doing the inspection of the hull, because it's like an external thing, are you getting in a vac suit and like, you know, mag walking your way around the ship, or are you taking the launch around and looking? Like either way is fine. And Lexine could have done something different than Gina. I'm just picturing in my mind how you guys were doing it. What was your preference?
Probably vac suit for me.
Okay.
Get up close and kind of inspect things, kind of scrapper way, mechanic way, like looking at it.
Does Gino have vac suit 0? At least?
Yeah, I got vac suit 0.
Okay. Yeah, you
so
can
I
do
think
either.
If I saw, I think after seeing Lexine do it that way on the first one, I would probably. Well, I don't know. This is a huge ass ship.
It's a big ship, yeah.
So I feel like launch makes sense for this ship.
Okay. Yeah, it's a lot of hull to look at. All right. And what was your roll? Sorry.
Oh, I'm so glad I did that luck. I rolled a 5, so +5, I got a 10.
Nice. You recognize that the hull is it's missing about 10% of its hull points. That's the amount of damage done to it. We will get the broker check now to figure out how much that would cost to repair.
So, 10% of the total cost to repair the hull?
No, it's 10% of the hull points that are missing from whatever its maximum hull was. But your check will figure out how much that would cost.
Gotcha.
So severely damaged is 10%, but I don't know. It's
I mean, whatever they say. Oh, is it broker check or we have one more?
yeah, broken check. Yeah, and then
Okay.
sorry, you've got a plus 1
We're gonna burn the rest of my luck because I really
because
want this ship.
Lexington's check wasn't really for the broker.
Got you. Okay. 16.
Whoa, sorry, spit on my keyboard. 16.
I burnt all
yeah.
my luck plus all my bonuses. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you get the damage report from Gino. You can identify that this with that, like, then you guys working together and the 16, that this ship, at like fresh off the line has 400 hull points. It's down. Oh, did I do that wrong then? Oh, I did the. Oh, wait, hold on. Give me 1 sec.
I would also go to Oscar and show him my findings to see if like he thinks that's all that's been damaged or if there's more to. Just to see
Okay.
if he'd say anything.
I did something wrong, which means it's not as expensive as I thought it was gonna be. I need to do my calculator again. So it's 400 hull points is the max. It's missing 10%, so it's missing 40. So you're down to 360 hull points. There's still a lot of hull points.
Yeah.
But that cost to fix is 2 million credits.
Wow.
That's like not even something we need to worry about doing anytime soon.
Yeah, for the whole.
So like,
Because it's already bulky as shit.
so
Yeah.
getting rid of the mini golf course is free. Just some
Takes time.
sweat from us. And the hull could stay. So I mean, we could this one we could definitely like just run as
Function.
is for a good while.
Yeah.
That,
So I guess some other things to keep in mind, because it was an issue, it was something we talked about with the jump cutter, was it had civilian grade sensors. Those are the same
Sensors in this.
Sensors wise, the ship also has civilian grade sensors, as does I think the merchant trader. Basically, all the ships have civilian grade sensors,
okay.
so they all have a -2, except for the jump cutter has a -3.
Okay, so there's a blanket 1.5 to 3 million for all of them.
If you want to, yeah.
It was what, 4 million to upgrade, right?
Yeah, it's 4 million. Yeah, there's a blanket 4 million
to upgrade.
Yeah.
And honestly, for the fact that, I mean, effectively we are civilians right now, I don't think it's terrible.
No, we can stick with civilian sensors for a while. So we can just kind of take that out of the
Off the jump cutters as well.
Yeah, off the jump cutters consideration.
So the way we're looking at it right now, sorry, is there anything else that Oscar says or any other notes?
No, I mean, you were just giving him those readouts and asking if that seems right to him.
Yeah, or if he knows any other damage to his ship.
No, you hand him the data pad with like your calculations, and he kind of holds it out and looks at it.
It looks good to me. Captain Fenrazi didn't have an appreciation for a clean hull, so we've been running like this for decades. Maybe not decades, but years and years and years.
Sorry to hear about that, Oscar. We'll make sure to fix it up and take good care of it. Say, Oscar, would you, when I refer to the ship, would you prefer I refer to it as the ship, your ship, or refer to you as the ship?
What a strange deontological question you just asked me. I mean, I'm me, and the ship's the ship, but I am part of the ship. Part of the ship part of the crew.
All right.
I remember hearing something like that sometime.
Yeah.
Can, Gino leans over. Can we call it the Meyer? It can be Oscar and the Meyer.
I'll
Sometimes
over.
I feel like I'm
Huh?
stuck in a mire of disbelief. You know,
Well, I was gonna say let's workshop it, but that might just be it. All right, Oscar.
Oh, I should also say Oscar is. I said silver, didn't I? That was completely wrong. He is bronze. He is a. I had his whole thing. He's like a bald, completely smooth humanoid robot, and he's bronze or brass,
Alright.
whatever. Yeah. Let's see. For gold.
So he's C3P Corleone 3PO.
Yeah. Bronze. They're bronze. He's bronze. Oh, never mind. He's gold. Fuck, Henry. He's gold. He's gold.
All right.
He is
So-
he is Corleone's 3PO. Yes.
He seems to think of himself as a member of the ship, so I'll refer to him as Oscar and the ship. That sounds good. Okay, but going back. Oh, also, tech level for
Mhm.
the big merchant ship. What tech level are we looking at for these kind of repairs?
For hull repairs, I mean, you could just go to any, like probably B or higher class starport.
Okay, B plus.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say, let me just go ahead and start out. Do we just want to go with the merchant ship,
I'll let you guys
or
talk.
do we
I'll be
want
right
to?
back.
Okay, or do we want to evaluate all of our things first?
I mean, I don't think we need to look at on any other ships after this one because we all love this ship.
I love Oscar, and I my character and I love this ship, but I want to know what y'all think, obviously.
I personally, for me, I think it's between Oscar and the ship and the cutter. Those were my two top two that I really like. But that's me personally.
I So with the cutter, that one is the most expensive for us to repair. I will say.
Oh, it is?
Well, no,
We were
because that
looking.
once you
Sorry,
take
go on.
out because we weren't that's to upgrade the system. It was only
Oh, right.
it was only 1 million ish so to repair it, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
And then it was
I
like
see.
4 million to upgrade the sensors, I think.
Which that one could be applied to
Oh,
any of them.
so Gino, that's well. I guess here's a question. The cutter, you had mentioned, Henry, that the comms and the sensors were out. Would
Yeah.
upgrading be? So that's two separate things. Is that correct, or is that
No,
together?
it's the same.
Okay.
And uh, basically all the ships. Oh, that was the one I was going to check. Is the only one I need to double check on is the Seeker, but the Cutter, the Merchant Trader, and the Provincial Merchant. You have a flat DM-2 to sensors and comms checks for all of those. But the Jump Cutter, you have a DM-3 because it's got that issue. So the million gets you up to a DM-2.
So I think we actually kind of, I think we have to at least do one upgrade for the cutter, just off merit of the comms are that bad. What do y'all think?
Yeah,
In
we could
DM-1
probably
is not
figure out how to
like,
swing 1 million.
yeah,
Yeah.
or an extra
With that being
DM-1
said,
is.
yeah. I mean, regardless. With that being said, the jump cutter is 1.2 million for repairs that we probably want to do. The merchant trader and the Prevento merchant, they are both runnable as is. The only difference, the big boy, to repair the hull, it's 2 million. We can probably get away and be okay without it though for a little while.
The mining ship has military grade sensors, which is what you had on the cuttlefish. So
Okay.
it's a net
That's
zero. It's
the
a net
little
zero
guy, right?
modifier. Yeah, the little guy. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, see,
the M drive on the Seeker, is going to be
Mhm.
1 to 2 million. But it's a really
Which I've given you the
cheap ship.
I've given you the dice modifiers for everything else. I might as well give you for that. Is a -1 for all piloting checks and initiative checks.
But we have thrust 2 on that one, so that basically cancels out the initiative check
Mhm.
on everything except for the merchant ship. See, I'm go big or go home. I like either the big ship or the little ship.
I really
I
like
like
the
the
big
little
ship.
ship because we can go everywhere and its operating costs are low.
Yeah.
And it's jump 2. It has military grade sensors. So it's like the runaround and the adventurers
I
type.
will say, right. I will say too, with the big ship, if we go do the go big or go home style, once we get enough money, we can buy a little cheap ship.
That is true. And then just completely crew this one and
Because
have
like
it
the
as
little
side
ship, I
income.
mean, yeah, because like little ship, I mean, it's gonna be really hard to get a big ship if we choose that one. But alternatively, with big ship, it may take, you know, a good bit of sessions, but we could eventually buy a little ship. Um, but Hetz and Courtney, what do y'all think for what do y'all thinking for ships?
Um, I mean, I gave because I think at least for both of these ships, like the price is going to be about the same. I think it was the Seeker seemed too expensive, if I'm remembering the totals correctly. Like
I
two
mean, 1 to 2
fix.
million.
But
It's
it's
1 to 2 million,
incredibly
but
cheap to
it's so
operate.
cheap.
That's true.
Yeah,
And it's
there's a
unfinished, which
blanket.
means that we have to finish it anyway, and we can finish it however the hell we want.
Mm-hmm.
So we get the upside of getting to decorate the inside. We can put
That's
nice wood
true.
paneling in there, make it feel like home.
I don't know. I still like the merchant ship we're on because Oscar is great, and the cutter. But if we want to go with the mining ship, I'll go with that too. Just my top two are those two.
That's
But that's just me. But I do have to admit the mining ship would be smaller and probably easier to well no, I mean the customizing is nice. It is there's it's a
mine
lot.
mining or the mining or the way I see it, seeker mining ship. That's we are not using our ship for any financial use. We have wherever we go, we have to find work. If we use
No, yeah, we're
the
we're adventurers full time.
yeah, if we use the cutter, we can go 50-50, but the payout for both I feel like is a little bit less, like adventuring or docking or transporting, like we're not getting as much, but we can do both. And then obviously for Big Boy, we are cargo haulers.
Well, we still have room.
Well,
We have time for some adventuring. Just
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
you'll have time
yeah.
for
Not
I mean,
very
in the
much.
blanket,
if you guys, the other thing too, so a couple things, just like sort of meta things, sort of things you would all have some sort of understanding as being people that lived in that universe, is the Rift sector. You're in the Great Rift anyways. There's like a lot of unexplored and empty space around you. So if you wanted to do exploration, like it's helpful to have a ship that can do that. Um, that being said, like yes, having a jump to capable ship makes that nice. If you guys had enough money that you just like retrofitted your and you went with like a huge ship like the Provincial Merchant. If you had enough money where you could operate at a loss for a while, that's a lot of money. You could theoretically add what 750 tons of fuel space which would be another 7 jumps you could do. So you could do like 3 jumps out into the middle of space and 3 jumps back. Now with the jump to mining ship, that's maybe getting you like an extra parsec farther out, but you could still do exploration. You just need to have a lot of money to like bankroll that. If exploration
How
is even what you
profitable
want
is
to do.
exploration?
Yeah, exactly. Potentially not profitable at all. It's just you might find something, you might not. Yeah.
And that is literally the only thing making my decision of being the provincial mining ship or the provincial merchant ship, because essentially at some point in the future we could have that bankrolling our explorations.
Yeah.
And I don't like the big ship. I'm just gonna come right out and say that I don't like it,
Yeah.
but I will fly it.
Okay, so we have one for really wanting big ship, and less or so on Seeker. One for the exact opposite. Jinx, you seem 50-50 on both, but also interested in Cutter.
Yes,
So,
I'm pretty much, those are my top two, but I am willing to go with the flow. They all sound like great ships in their own right.
and Gino, you were kind of bouncing between low and high.
Yeah, low and high. I could be happy to go either way.
Not so much in Cutter.
I mean, I'll go that way if you guys
That's
want to
okay.
go. It just feels like it's too middle of the road.
Yeah, I mean it's okay to say no to it. I just
Yeah,
don't want to get
that's my
too deep
feeling.
into it.
It's just so middle of the road. It's not great at anything. It's
Yeah.
just okay at everything.
Okay, so I feel like it's safe to say we can remove the Cutter.
Sure.
No one said to merchant ship, so cut out merchant ship.
I think its operating costs are just too high for the cargo
Yeah,
space.
for okay. So we are literally looking at Seeker or Merchant for our final two. Um. Ugh. Okay. I'm gonna say it from my meta point of view. Um. My, I think that do we want to be rich or do we want to just be people who live paycheck to paycheck?
Well,
That's
and
what I'm
here's the thing: is
thinking.
I feel like this gets to be both a meta and in character decision at the same time.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
meta,
that's
it's
fair.
defining what we want to do with the campaign, but in
But
character, it's
yeah,
also defining what our characters want to do with their lives. Like,
Yeah.
do we want to
I mean,
travel the systems and see what kind of mischief we can get into, or do we want to just see if we can become an empire?
being straight up, my character, he's a merchant at heart.
Oh, you can just talk. I'll be right back. Sorry.
All right, my character, Engie, he's a merchant at heart. He sees his big ship and he sees the opportunities. That's where his head's at.
I guess my
Moving forward.
my meta thoughts are like, I want us to be able to adventure and not like have to travel when we travel to immediately pick up a job everywhere we go. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, we can
Yeah,
kind of like what we were doing before. I really like where we can like pick up cargo, drop it off, but then we can spend a few days at a place before we leave. Then we
Well,
find another job
and
and
I
then
think
go
we can
somewhere
still do
else.
that with the big ship because if we load that ship fully, one haul a month is going to pay for mortgage, repair costs, fuel costs, and crew costs.
and kind of a meta question, Henry.
Mhm.
Would it be logical to assume that with this big hauler, we could hire a full time team to operate it and effectively gain like capital from that ship as it operates if we ever want to all of us personally go out and do something for a while?
Yeah. You would just have to, have another ship you could fly. But yeah, you could definitely. That's like a Yeah, you could definitely do that.
So, we wouldn't be making as much if we personally ran it, but that's another thing we could do. we can hire a full-time crew to operate it for us, and we get passive money from it, and then we can adventure for a little bit and then come back. And hey,
you just have to have enough money to buy another ship or get another ship.
Yeah, we'd have to get
Yeah.
access to another ship.
I mean,
But
it would take a bit, but we could totally do that.
I think the provincial merchant gives us the most options long term because it gives us the most money long term.
Yeah.
The seeker miner is very much we're just deciding right now we just want to go out and be travelers and that's it. Like
Yeah.
this is our path, this is what we're doing.
Lexian would very much like to get to the bottom of his vision and figure out what the fuck happened.
So you're more for the seeker then?
He's more for the seeker, but he knows that if he's outnumbered, he won't part ways. He'll say, "All right, I will do what the rest of you want. I might not be fully happy with it, but as long as we at some point in the kind of near future start trying to like possibly try to help figure out what vision I saw, what the egg was, all of that. If
Well,
we
and I
could
think
work
we can still do that with the provincial because we can start collecting information because we have to figure out where your visions came from.
Yeah.
It's going to take us a while to collect that information as well.
And Lexian
Yours
also
is a long-term quest.
Yeah, Lexian also understands the necessity for like financial stability to be able to go out and do other things like that. So it's not his first choice, but he will go along with it.
What in the world is that? What are those?
Okay. So, one yes, one no. I'm just gonna boil it down to yes and no for simplicity's sake. Jinx and
Well,
Judy.
so it's well we're looking basically we're looking at Lexians for Lexians for little ship.
Yep.
Jinx is for big ship, right?
Yeah, I would like the merchant ship.
So we're
Jinx
one
is
and
for big
one.
ship.
No.
I think it was SFNG was also for the big ship.
Yes, he is very much for big ship. Like the same passion for against it is like equal for ship.
I feel I like the idea of the seeker and it's just running around and goofing off, but I feel like if we take the big ship and we get a business going, then we can buy ourselves a ship outfitted the way we want it to do that stuff down the road.
If it makes any difference, just to throw some oil on this fire. I kept trying to figure out what in what PDF was like the modules. The module the jump cutter. There are like a shit ton more modules if that matters. If you guys are curious about those, but it's all sort of the similar stuff you have. I mean, like medical module if you wanted to have your own like frontier hospital, cattle transport, cold passage, which is just a shit ton of low berths, an armory module, fighter hangar we talked about, a life support module, which is like a I think like a temporary measures life support, missiles, like orbital outpost, passengers.
Right. I mean, is it reasonable to assume that we could, if we like, really
Public house, you could have a pub. There's a pub.
Is it
pub
reasonable
module.
to assume if we really wanted a certain facility, we could just use a little bit of cargo space on the Merchant to dedicate to that?
Probably.
It'd be obviously way more expensive, but
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're looking at 1,000,000 credits ish for every single one of these modules, but I'm assuming depending on what they're outfitted with, some of them are more expensive than others.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's true. I mean, they're a pretty expensive module.
And we don't have a great way to make that kind of money with it. That's my
Yeah.
thing. It's as cool as it is. I feel like we're going to be locked into the modules we have for a long time.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. Because we'd have to dedicate all of them, or most of them, to cargo transport to get the money in the first place, and then after that, if we don't have an established plan, we get diminishing returns. And honestly, for the merchant, I just love the idea of seeing where Oscar goes and like seeing his character develop. I really want to see how he like what happens.
Oh yeah,
to him.
Oscar's fun.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing is we get to take on a couple crew, and like we liked our crew on our last ship.
Yeah.
They add characters for us to talk to, other than just who we're meeting in spaceports.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think I'm big ship.
All right. I
Find
mean
out what
that's.
this. Yeah.
Uh, it seems like we're mostly in agreement for the big ship, and then making that into a business so then we can adventure on small ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can really. Well, here's the thing: we can really focus on this, and it is a jump one ship, so that means we're going to have tons of weeks to work on skills.
Right.
So we work on making money, we work up on building skills, and then we get the ship we want, and we go out there as badasses, do all the cool stuff.
Gonna go
And
kill
we'll have
goblins
money.
and grind your
Yeah.
skills.
We'll have money to buy shit too to adventure, so it's like,
Yeah.
you know, we're not having to worry about like, ooh, I wish I bought blank. It's like, oh, I will buy it for next time. And I mean, speaking a little bit meta, the motivation of Lexian wanting to explore the psionic aspects and like going to at some point explore possibly psionic worlds sounds really fucking cool. Psionic worlds in the sense of there are psionics there.
Which the big ship isn't exactly a bad idea for that, because, like Henry said, we can load it up with fuel if we can handle running at a loss.
Yeah.
And it can get us way out there, which a lot of the psionic worlds are a little more cut off from everybody else anyway, aren't they? Because of kind of the nature of things.
Yeah, that's true. And if we find something while we're adventuring, we could always stock up and bring it back with us. Bring some prospectors with us. Have them find some ore
We,
deposits.
we find a planet full of nibbler poop.
I love being capitalist.
Um,
I'm also thinking in a kind of meta sense of jumping from literally port to port is gonna be a little boring.
That's what you think.
Yeah,
Well,
like but like
we've still
if
got.
that's going to be our main source of income, we have to go with the ship, and it's like it's just gonna be like I understand, just things can happen, but like we've been kind of doing this with the cuttlefish a little bit, so it's like we're falling back into the exact same pattern.
I mean, I will say on that note, yes, it's definitely going to be a couple like the first couple sessions are going to be for the most part us just negotiating with people and like jumping. But after we get that established and we get, some financial backing to figure things out, and we can independently run this as a side business, we are free to do what we want. It's just we
Yeah, I
have to
think
build
I
that up.
think the problem with the cuttlefish was we were trying to do that, but we were doing it with a 26-ton cargo space instead of a 658-ton cargo space.
Mm-hmm.
And we still have to have shore leave. So yeah, we're hopping from planet to planet, but at the same time, like right now we have no great mission, no great direction what to take anyway. So if we get the little ship, we're just kind of wandering aimlessly until we pick something up.
Also, looking at a pirate arc, might have some pirate encounters. I really hope I
Well,
did not
that's
just plant a seed.
I mean, like I said, I really do. I see the merit in both.
Yeah. I think it just goes back to like what I was initially, or one of my initial points though, of just like, do we want to live this campaign as a paycheck to paycheck and wait for the big hit, or do we want to basically build a business and then financially back our exploration off the business? That's the two routes I see.
I mean, it already looks like we're doing the provincial merchant.
Yeah, yeah. I just want to bring it back up.
So I have a question, Henry.
Yes.
If we get the provincial merchant now, could
Uh-huh.
we possibly put a marker on what's it called? Uh, a marker on the seeker ship to say like, hey, we're kind of interested in this. Let us build up a little bit of money and then we'll come back for it.
It's a good question. I
Or
think
would
that
there, or would it be like essentially we would have to just go out and find a ship somewhere else?
Start going to use spaceship lots.
yeah. No, I mean I think that you have a an inn with Marja, so you have an inn with like some elements of the New Bayern government. The prices will be different because all these prices are taking into account
Yeah.
Doom's trade in, right? But
Could
but maybe she needs a favor, or maybe she's just willing to do it because you guys have already done a couple favors for her. I
Mm-hmm.
would say the chances of this being a place where you could come back to like pick up a new ship, and maybe by the time you get back, the new Bayern government has impounded or taken some other ships and mothballed them. Yeah, I think that this is a fine. She is a contact that 428 has, so we should exploit not exploit, but we should use the contacts that people have, right? Like, I would be fine with you coming back and saying like, hey, you had that ship last time. Is it still there? Maybe it is.
And
Maybe it
we
isn't.
and we could use our merchant standing with this big ship to help curry more and more favor with places like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we could always put a deposit on like one of these ships that we want to buy. Just put down a deposit so that they don't sell it off or get rid of it.
You guys could also, I guess, uh, I'm hesitant to give my opinion one way or the other. I'm just because I genuinely like. I think the ore carrier was the only ship I felt kind of weird giving you guys, just because it just seems so. It just I don't know. It like the
Such a jump.
expense was yeah, the expense was so high. I don't care which way you guys go. I think they'll all be great. I rolled for like these quirks, so they're all largely randomized. I have no stake in this game, is what I'm trying to preface this all by saying. But the other thing you guys could do if you choose to go this route that you're talking about, taking a big ship, building up a bunch of capital, is if your goal is to like do exploration, you guys could also just like take the hit and get a big loan and commission your own like purpose-built exploring ship that has like a higher jump capacity and that those abilities too. That
Yeah,
going to
that
be wildly
Take
expensive? Yeah, sure, but like
oh,
but that is a
but
that
it
is
would
also a
be
possibility.
totally customizable to our wants and needs.
but
Yeah.
and see that but that's my thought with this big ship is this big ship gets us we get it set up so we have a steady income with it, commission one of those ships, and then hire a crew to run this ship.
Yeah, and then the income from this sort of covers the like the loan for your payments for that one. Yeah, that is an as one way you
Or
could.
if we have that in, we get money going, we get 2 or 3 more of these.
Oh my
We get
God.
them all running crew,
Yeah.
and then we get our ship, and we've got fuck off money too.
Yeah.
I do have a meta question for
Mhm.
Henry. Obviously, I know it's really, really hard to gauge these kind of things, but thinking of the route of like building up a business and then funding our own private explorership,
Mhm.
I mean, how many sessions do you reckon that might take?
Oh, I don't know. Good question. Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay.
I feel like part of that would depend on how much we're doing. Like, we could spend 4 or 5 sessions of literally just hand waving, jump space, go from
Yeah.
planet, load this up, do our rolls, go to the next planet,
And I feel
and
like,
just bust that out.
yeah,
Mhm.
those sessions should fly by fairly easily once we get rolling too.
Or we do that for part of a session, and then we have a little adventure during the session on one of the planets.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
As we're doing favors for these companies, we're doing this stuff to earn money, but then when we're doing this stuff, we're doing favors for these companies on the side, like we did here with Marja, to curry favor, helpful, maybe, gives us better ends with getting more loads.
We have
Or
a
it
resume.
helps us get better ends to get more ships to start a fleet or whatever like that. We can
Right.
break it up that way too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about that then.
Okay.
I want to call Oscar 3P though. It's Corleone 3P Oscar.
I'm I'm really intrigued to see how like because like Oscar seems like the type where if she, like we're getting attacked or like something big like a big boom happens, I feel like we can go to Oscar and be like, Oscar, what the hell was that? And then he'd be like, oh, that was like your M drive just blew up. We're like, what? And we run down there. But like I feel like that'd be super fucking helpful.
Okay. So it sounds like you guys have a decision.
Big ship?
Yeah, big ship.
Okay. So you head back to the little station that they have set up and kind of get all the paperwork sorted out. And that takes a couple hours, uh, but yeah, the ship is yours. Like I said, it's gonna take a couple days, maybe a week, to just go through all of the because the ship's been mothballed. Ships. I'm gonna stop screen sharing. The ship has been decommissioned for a while now, so you want to go through. You want to do your due diligence and go through like all the systems in detail. Take the time to like spin all the engines and drives up. Um, Maybe take it for like a little like a runabout in the system and do all those things to make sure the ship's not going to like die on you in the middle of space or create a funky jump field and you will explode. Uh, what sort of yeah, uh, what sort of checks and things you guys want to do? Yeah. Let me...
Um, is there any way that Oscar could help us while we're like going through the ship, and maybe he could point out things that we haven't noticed?
Probably. Probably. I think also that you guys took a whole day to like go through all the ships. So there's like a. Do you want to? Sorry, let me turn my
Sleep.
music off. Do you want to sleep on the station, or do you want to like sleep on these bunks that you don't know when the last time they were cleaned was?
Station, probably.
Yeah,
Please,
How
the
much do we owe?
station.
Yeah. Nothing. You don't have to sleep on. You can. You don't have to pay to sleep on the station. But okay. It's just I was just kind of getting that out. So I'm trying to like also put a picture of the ship on a Roll20 page for us to use. We guys talk amongst yourselves and think about what you want to do. But yes, you can use. Oscar has skills that that can be of use to you. What those skills are today and what they will be when I have his like actual sheet and all of his information put out. Will they be the same? Possibly not. But for now, he has a fair amount of skills that can be of use to you. So you can take that into account. But quickly talk amongst yourselves while I do this real quick. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
So, are we all happy with our new ship? I say as I do a twirl.
Man, it's been a dream to run such a beautiful cargo ship. I'm excited for our future prospect.
We are going to keep like a hole or two of the mini golf course, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's good to have some stuff, and I've never indulged in the human sport of golf, but I'm willing to give it a try.
I mean, this technically isn't golf. This is mini golf. Real
Mini golf.
golf
Oh,
is. Yes, real golf is like on fields, manicured to perfection, where you have to use like 5 different types of clubs.
wow, that's I
Yeah, and then you
hadn't
use like a
realized.
tee that you put the ball on, and then you have to drive it to the hole. Hence why they use a driver. It's very complicated. I
Huh.
tried to watch it and I got bored.
Like
Mini
that.
golf is fun.
There's a flashback of Jinx watching old Terran golf tournaments.
With Tiger Woods, and
Yeah,
I'm
just
just
like
sitting
interesting
there.
because and whenever he's on the screen, you start growling because he's a cat because his name is Tiger. I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. I just had to interrupt.
Say,
Couldn't help
Okay.
myself.
think it'd be a fun ship group bonding time to play a little bit of mini golf. That's what it's called, right?
Yes. I mean, I think so. What does everybody else think?
I'm always
Okay.
down for some mini golf. Can't go wrong with that. We could just keep the whole course and be a port
Half
to
the
port
cargo down?
entertainment station. A party ship. We can become a party ship.
But we would also need a karaoke machine, and then appropriate fog machines, like an
Yeah,
area for a DJ, a bar. It would be a lot.
but we got all this cargo space. I mean, we could make one hell of a party ship.
I mean, we could.
Maybe we'll do that with the second one.
Oh, rent it out like a party ship where they could like travel around it. Perfect.
No, it can be a casino boat.
That's even better. Oh my god.
All right. So what I'm hearing is we get ourselves a ship and we name it the Casino Cruiser. All right. Well, I thought that sounded very cool. I'll go back to.
I like it, says Noah as he's sitting there drinking with his dinner.
I mean, it's not
Thank
too
you,
bad. I
Noah.
was thinking the Casino Royale.
With cheese.
To make it sound kind of fancy.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose so.
But yours is good too.
Behind it.
You ship it this. Sorry, I just read that too. Cool. Okay, I'll switch you guys over here.
Ooh, we could put in a bowling lanes. Brings a
Yes.
whole new meaning to the term cosmic pulling.
Oh,
Proportions are kind of off. The ship is a little bit fatter up at the top than it should be. I don't think these are perfectly square, but it's fine for today.
everyone
Yeah.
can
So
appreciate a good dumpy.
yeah. Did you guys talk about what your plans are to look for your first couple days?
Oh,
Um,
right.
I would
No,
do a workover of the sensors. Does
Every single engineer check. I'd be doing a bunch of engineer work.
Um, I would probably slowly start tearing up the honestly. But leaving, like, depending on how it's functioned in the ship, like, say
well
if
you
there was, like, a little corner that had, like, holes, then this huge strip, I would leave the corner holes, if you know what I mean. Like, if it was shaped funny. But
well
yeah, I'll
you can do
slowly
a
start.
detailed rundown of our turrets.
Oh my god, I forgot we have. She throws the stuff on the ground for the golf course and runs to her guns. I mean, the guns. I'll look over the turrets.
Right.
I'll just be
Uh,
running around, flying around, I should say.
you also have the nice thing. Oh, actually, I should do that. Okay. I think I can do this quickly. Give me another 30 seconds while you guys keep talking. Sorry.
Wait, you're
You have because you
flying
have
around?
your yeah. Uh,
Huh.
you have the the ship's launch, which is also a thrust one. So if needed, you guys can take the ship's launch back to like Schlesien, the spaceport.
Oh.
Oh yeah, we got a dinghy now.
Yeah.
We do.
I was gonna say I could check the low berths over too, but apparently there's two of them.
Like two. Yeah. Yeah. It's not a
It's not a people
ship that
hauler.
has no. It's a stuff hauler. You know, it's good for hauling stuff. Okay, here you go. Here you go.
Is that going to be our name? We're the stuff haulers. What do we haul?
Stuff
Stuff.
haulers. When do we haul it? Whenever we can. Whenever there's stuff available.
Whatever you need.
Yeah.
Please.
We're not on time
Totally read
delivery
that.
service. We're sometime delivery service.
Yeah.
When we show up, we'll be there.
There you go. There's your launch for you too. That's not gonna do both. Okay, so yeah, so Noah let you know the ship should have enough fuel and as with the launch to operate for a couple weeks. And the launch can get you back to and from the port. So as far as food goes, he'll leave you with like a week's worth of rations, but you guys will at some point need to go get food and probably get your stuff off of uh, Port
Station.
William's old ship. Yeah, so that's also probably going to be in this like maybe 2 week period of going through things and including in that is like going and getting the ship fueled up and everything. They will just to make things easy to start off on a nice clean slate. Doing this deal, they'll fill your tanks up fully the first time. As they send you off the lot in with a full tank of gas because that's they're really doing a gift for you. But yeah, he drops you off at the ship, and who's going where, who's doing what first.
I know I'm going to be doing an inspection of the J drive, power, M drive, and life support.
Okay.
Uh,
What's your first step?
I'm probably gonna first start with life support just to ensure that's functioning properly, and with that, power being next.
Okay. Well, just give me the first one. Just give me one, and then we'll take that roll.
Okay. life support.
Okay.
Int plus life support. Or...
Engineering life support. Yeah, yeah. And what's Gino doing? Big Gino.
I think I'll start off using a steward check to just do a look over of the staterooms in the common area to, see all of our more day-to-day living amenities.
Okay.
Refrigerator in good working order. Beds aren't going to like fall through, shit like that.
Yeah. Okay. And then how about Jinx?
She's gonna give a thorough check to the turrets that we now have to make sure they're like everything's cleaned out, runs smoothly, fully functional, etc.
Okay. And Lexian.
He's gonna double check the bridge. He's gonna like look at the pilot's chair, see if he can find a comfortable position to sit in.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
See if the controls are a decent reach, or if he has to stretch, or if he has to contort a little bit to get into the chair, whatnot.
All right. We will get then life support from Doom, a steward check from Gino. What is it? It's not gunnery. What is the? Is it gunnery?
It is.
Gunnery check from Jinx.
And then a pilot check from
Gunner
me.
turret. It's gunner turret, and then a pilot check from you. Yeah. So we'll start with Doom. What was your check?
I had rolled an 11. You
Okay.
want me to
Cool.
reroll?
No, you're good. You already rolled it. Yeah. Yeah. No, you go in. The life support systems. They seem to be, uh, you know, pretty up to snuff. They all seem to be working pretty well. It's just going to take, they need new filters, that sort of thing. You go through, you
Yeah.
kind of identify. You're like making, you're all making like checklists of things you need, that sort of stuff. You would all imagine that before you set off on your next big trip, there will be some things y'all need to purchase. But so you got like filters, yeah, you need some new air filters for the scrubber. But the life support looks good. How about Gino? Did you make your steward check? Int.
Oh wow, double sixes, and then I guess
Nice.
do I add education to that as steward?
Int. We'll do int for
Yeah.
this one.
Okay, so
Yeah.
then
No.
14 total.
Yeah, I think int because you're still just identifying. 14 total. Cool. Geez. I mean, looking through the uh, like the bunks and the staterooms, you just like you go in the first one, you look immediately, and you just like start pulling off all of the linens. You're like, these all need to be at least washed, and so you start doing that. You talked about checking the fridge while you're cleaning all the linens and kind of stripping all the beds. You kind of get an idea of if the like laundry machine is working. The linens have been sitting for a while. It's space, luckily, and so there weren't any like moths eating them. But you know, how old are these? How many people did they see? Maybe it's worth getting new linens, but that's up to you. Um, you kind of get everything cleaned. The refrigerator, everything seems to be in working condition. Everything seems to be all right. Um, Next
How's
up
our
would
common area? Like, what all does it have? Like amenities wise, fridge, stove.
yeah, all the basics: fridge, stove, um, coffee maker, pop. I think the one big thing is like an old school, like not old school, but like a popcorn machine, on like two wheels with a that you would roll around like a yeah. That's probably the one big thing in there. And then there's a what you would it takes you a second to kind of look at and realize, but is some sort of like old school projector to project what you would think of as like hollow videos on the wall, but they are two-dimensional um, in the common area. Anything else you were looking at with that check?
Um, any vintage bottles of alcohol hiding in the common area?
No, it seems to be pretty like stripped clean of foodstuffs and like liquor and anything like that.
Okay, so potentially new sheets. Definitely need to completely stock the common area.
Mm-hmm. All right. And Jinx, when you walk into the cockpit, you
Yes.
see Oscar is staring at his reflection in the window out in space, and he's just like looking at his golden cheeks and his face, and like making expressions.
I'm just gonna let him live over there.
You know, it's really hard
I-
being ridiculously good looking.
Okay, Zoolander.
And he turns around and starts strutting over to you. What can I do for you?
Is he blue stealing me?
He's magnuming you.
Oh God, not Magnum. I'm
Lexian walks in behind. Yeah.
I'm just checking over the turrets. You know, I'm
Hmm.
somewhat of a gun person, so the turrets are my job.
All right, I'll let you do that. He struts over to the other side of the cockpit and is.
I mean, you can help if you want.
That's okay.
Okay.
Unless you need me to. If that's an order, I'll help.
I'm not gonna order you around, Oscar.
How about you? And he turns and looks at Lexian. Lexian sits down and is.
Lexian's gonna do his damn best to ignore him. Alright.
Trying to do my chairs. Lexian's doing what? Sorry.
Lexian's gonna do his damn best to ignore him.
All right. We'll take Jinx. Sorry, Jinx's gunnery check real quick, or gunner
Yes.
turret. I think int. You're all doing like diagnostic sort of stuff, so they're gonna be that kind of int based.
All right. I am going to use some luck to make sure these guns hopefully still work.
Okay.
I'm gonna use 2 luck before I roll. I think 2 will be enough. All right. So I rolled a math 12.
Nice. Yeah.
Yes.
You had already known, but you recognize that there are 2 double turrets. They both have their full range accessible, but they are both sandcasters, which are basically just anti-missile weapons. Actually, I think they're anti-laser weapons, aren't they? Because it's to like
Yeah,
affect
I think you're right.
way. Yeah. So they don't really do any damage. I think there's like maybe if you're like right on someone next to somebody, you could potentially kind of scratch their hull, but for the most part, and
Take their paint off.
Yeah, take their paint off. But so you have no real offensive capabilities in this ship, but you can at least defend yourself. And they both turrets seem to be working pretty well.
But you can change guns out on turrets, correct?
Exactly. Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Yeah. I make a note to immediately get some. Well, hopefully immediately try to get some kind of damage-dealing weapons on this ship.
Okay.
With a 12, would I, with my gun knowledge, gunship knowledge, know what kind of guns would work well with these, with what we already have?
On these turrets? No, you could put just about anything on the turrets. Yeah.
Okay.
They're double turrets. That means they can have 2 different guns on them, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So, like, we could put a laser and keep a sandcaster, so you've got the turret's got defensive and offensive capabilities.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I do like the idea.
Is someone keeping a list of things you'd like to do?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I got my
Thank
stuff.
God.
Stop common room, replace all the bedding.
Cool.
Yes, I have get guns.
Get guns.
Yep.
With the GIT, get guns. Get good.
After too.
Cool. Yeah, thank you, everyone. I'm kind of jotting them down too, but if everyone can drop what they have in chat afterwards, then make sure I've got everything as well. Lexian, let's get your piloting in check.
Yep, 10 after bonuses.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, is there anything particular? You're just talking about getting your position set up, right?
get the position set up, get the feel for the controls. Am I allowed to take it for a spin?
It's still being fired up, so it's
Okay.
not ready yet. Yeah, someone's gonna like go in the engineering bay and like fire up the M drives.
Okay.
You can do all your standard control checks though, right?
Yeah, just
Yeah, he does
do
the
like all
control
my
checks.
standard control checks. See if there's any like faulty, like I want to say faulty gauges or anything, but it's probably all on a hollow screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just to see if there's anything that might be possibly wrong with the piloting station.
Okay. Yeah. No, I mean with your 10, you're going through. Everything seems to be functioning pretty well. You're like getting all your presets set up, and all of your checks and various things probably took you all about like half a day, so you can get kind of another check in this day if there's anything you'd like to do.
I think I'd like to do a full rundown of the sensors.
Okay. About
I'll do M drive.
M drive, cool. Jinx,
Yes.
is there anything you'd like to do with the second half of the day?
Um. Since I know the turrets are in working order, I'll go back to what I was going to start slowly ripping out the golf course.
Okay. Yeah, that's just a time investment. You don't have to make a check for it if you don't want to.
Yeah, I figured. I'm just gonna take it slow and easy and rip out some of the golf course.
Cool. All right. And Lexian.
Lexian is going to go and thoroughly inspect the what's it called? I can't think of it now. Stateroom that he's gonna claim,
Okay.
which will be the one above number 4.
Oh, there are 2 number 4s.
Oh,
Number 4
on
is
on the
number 4.
left hand side. On the left hand
Okay.
side.
Cool.
Yeah. He'll thoroughly inspect that one and then go down and help Jinx with ripping out of the golf course.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go. I guess 428. Do you want to give me your M drive engineering int check?
Sure will do.
I guess. Well, yeah, and yeah.
That's a 13.
All right, sweet. Yeah, you get things spun up, fired up, and everything seems to be purring. I mean, it's purring even though it's a massive ship, so it's ka-chunk, 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 but it's the right kind of ka-chunk, ka-chunks. You know, it's not a bad one.
Also, just to let Lexian character know, I did work on the M drive so that if you wanted to look back over piloting controls, you had some basic stuff to look at when it comes to.
Yeah, it's gonna take you half the day to get everything up and running, so it would be around the time you guys would normally go to bed before he can really start like piloting things. But yeah, you definitely let him know. Yeah. Gino.
I got a 13 as well.
Nice. Yep. Nope. The sensors, everything seems to be again functioning pretty well. As you guys are all, well, not yeah. You guys probably don't notice anything. You're good. The sensors, everything seems to be working well. And then it cuts down to Lexian and Jinx. When you're taking out starting to tear out the golf course, are you like playing around and then tearing out a hole and then playing around and tearing out a hole? How are you guys doing this?
I'm personally tearing it out like you tear out a carpet. I start from the corners and pull.
There you go.
I already played a game on it earlier, so I'm good.
Yeah, you got a round in. Cool. So I think you guys meet up in the common area like around dinner time. Popping open some MREs, and 428. You get a call from Marja Aguilar on the on the ship's comms, and so I guess Oscar sticks his head in. Gear boy, you got a call. And he turns around and walks out the door.
Sorry, who said that?
Oscar.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Oh, Oscar. Yeah, I pick up. Hey, Marja.
Yeah, it's she's it's like in the well, I guess there's probably consoles like in the common area, and it's space future. It's a video call, and she's like, yeah, hey guys, uh Noah let me know you made your choice and you're getting set up.
Yeah, yeah, we are.
All right. Well, I just wanted to let you know I took the liberty of recommending your crew's admission to the blank. I'm gonna have to ask you guys in a second on what the society's name is. Uh, it's they take on specialty cargo and transport contracts, corporate gigs, search and rescue work, fugitive recovery, even the odd exploratory survey that the Scout Service can't or won't take. Um, they take their cut up front, so you don't have to worry about paying them this organization that she sponsored your admission to. Um, but I figured they love independent travelers like yourselves that with the way things are going in the islands, unaffiliated travelers are becoming more of a commodity. I figured this is the best way for you guys to get the best work you can possibly.
Wow.
I won't know if you're accepted, for another couple weeks or probably about a week or so until they get back to us. But just wanted to give you a shout, and if anything comes through before you guys leave the system, I'll let you know. But I always check in at the local offices, which would be on any class A or B starport, B or higher.
I really appreciate that, Marja. Yeah, I thank you. Um, really appreciate of you all as always.
Thank you. So, is this organization called the Freelance Travelers Guild, which is just the FTL? Is it the League of Independent Travelers, which is lit? Is it the League of Independent Island Travelers, which is lit? The Federation of Independent Island Travelers, which is fit? The Island Independent Logistics, which is ill? Or the Free and Reliable Trader Society, which is farts?
Farts.
I like farts.
Or if you have another organization name. These are just names I was musing about while I was driving.
So yeah, so what does FARC stand for again?
Free and Reliable Trader Society. Or Travelers Society. Traders or travelers. It's up to you.
I feel like travelers makes sense.
Yeah. I love it.
I also
Yes.
like how in the name, like farts, they have the A. Like, it's usually and is not calculated into.
Yeah, it's little. Yeah, oh, it's not going to show up on my phone. Yeah, put the A as little. A little A. It's capital F, lowercase a, capital R, capital T, capital S. I'll put it here. I'll jump in chat.
Yeah. I find that funny. But yeah, I like that.
Well, I'm going to capitalize the A. Be unique.
I was gonna say you could always drop the A and make it look like a actual logo that was actually like accidentally. Yeah, everybody just calls it farts, but it's really Furts.
Like that, it's Furts. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Of course.
Well, I mean, right now, since I follow Disney content creators, iFarts is going on right now. International art thing. It's like an international art festival, but people call it iFarts, which makes me laugh. And then other people are like, "Why are you calling it iFarts?" It's like it's the initials. So yeah, there's an iFarts at Disney. It's great.
Is there anything, as we come to a close here, is there anything you guys want to do before we close off?
Are we like fast forwarding these few weeks, or are we?
Yeah, I think we can kind of like say what you're going to do now, and then if there's anything that needs to be addressed, we can kind of do it between sessions for this next like 2 weeks.
I mean, I would obviously want to go out and fully stock the common area, and probably buy the best bedding I could for everybody's staterooms and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I'll come up with like credit costs for everything by next session.
And if anybody wants to personalize their staterooms, I don't know. I mean, obviously, I don't know what we have access to on this mining place as far as
It's not great. Yeah, it's
yeah.
nothing like yeah.
If I can get a weapons locker for all my weapons, I will be
Okay.
happy.
Yeah.
Or the weapons locker is under the bed like it was Jane. I'm pretty sure that's where his weapons were. You like flip up the mattress and all of it, find out. It's great.
He had
Um,
the blanket hanging up on the wall where Vera was.
That's right. There was something I
then,
watched
yeah,
and all the
yeah.
weapons were in the mattress or under the
Yeah.
mattress. I'll
Is
figure
there
out something.
isn't there like an auto bartender thing you can get?
I know there's
Yeah.
the auto launderer, but there probably is. There's a cook thing too you can get. I'm pretty
Didn't
sure.
we have it on the cuttlefish?
You did you have the auto bartender? You had the
I think we had the
karaoke
laundry machine.
What was the auto bartender?
I think.
I thought we got the auto bartender because somebody wanted alcoholic hot chocolate at all times.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's right.
I got it. I mean,
Yeah, I think you may be right.
But I think
bought it for weapons.
the facilities in this area aren't they aren't really like accessible. But next big port you guys go to, you can. Things to keep in mind. Things to keep in mind what you want to buy. Yeah. Anything else you guys want to get at least while you're around here? Real like kind of staples.
I mean, do they sell weapon lockers here? I'm assuming they don't, but I mean, it's a mining place. You never know.
Yeah, I think you get like a retrofitted like tool locker. That's fine.
Excellent. I will upgrade it later, but this will suffice for now.
All right, cool. As things are happening before we close out, probably like 2 weeks later, as everything's there's a screen goes dark as you guys are all working, comes back up, and the ship is like that we've an external view of the ship, and the M drive's like glowing as it's beginning to chug away from an asteroid it was parked nearby. It's incredibly dangerous. I don't know why they did that, but cinematically it's nice to see. And you get a message from Marja that you guys were accepted into the Farts Society, or the Fart Society. You guys are fart traders now, and there's even a potential contract if you want it.
Is there ranks in the fart society? So do we like start out as little toots?
Yeah, you start as little baby toots.
Do we eventually get up to butt trumpets?
Yeah. And if your status or membership is under review, you're considered a shard.
Oh my god.
You're suspended. Suspended, but maybe
Suspended on hiatus.
For start.
Yeah. Where did it go? So if you guys want it, well, and we can go over more of like what it means to be a fart later on, but the contract. Oops, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, we totally could have got the ship that made the foul smell every time we landed.
Definitely could have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Doom. So, contract is again, this is a specialty contract, so it's actually a charter. Someone is hoping to charter a transport vessel to deliver some goods from. Well, let's go to a map. It's a decent trip. Someone is looking to zoom in. I gotta get you guys a new token at some point. Focus ping everyone to Silesian. The route is from New Bayern to Pyramus, which is Pyramus is a secondary planet in the Herzenlust system. So you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parsecs.
Can you spell Pyranus?
Yeah, Lord Pyranus. I think it's with an M. Where is it on my notes? There it is, Pyramus. And I'll even drop in the planetary code because it's right there. So, oops. It's a picture. Sorry. But that's it. The contract, the charter, is to deliver 6 breeding specimen of Przewalski's horse, which is a, well, you guys can...
I know those.
Yeah.
When I worked at the zoo, there were some at the zoo. I know what Przewalski like. They're cute.
They are cute. They're in the specialty built or specially built low berths, all like taking up about 2 tons of space each for a total of 12 tons. The charter fee is 900 credits times the size of your ship's cargo capacity. I just wrote that down and then lost it, but it was like 500 and something thousand per month. 592,200 credits per month for the charter. The ship is the cargo is only taking up 12 tons of your cargo hold. As part of the contract, you can pick up cargo en route, but you will be in breach of the contract if you deviate from the most direct route to Pyramus possible. You just that's kind of what there's, but you have the ability to take on other cargo if you want to. You'll all also be paid 3,500 credits a month each for just during the duration of the charter. The fine print, not the fine print, but the more concerning or harder to achieve details of the contract is that the charter is for delivery of the animals, waking them from suspended animation, and ensuring they become properly established in their new home. A bonus of 5,000 credits per animal delivered alive, as well as 20,000 per animal pronounced healthy and likely to breed, will be paid out after 1 month's time of them being at the destination. Your payment of 900 credits or 592,200 credits per month will continue for the month that you're expected to be on planet. So they'll also be paying for your ship to functionally sit in orbit and wait, or sit on planet and wait. As well as it's an extra 14 grand per month. So it's really, the charter pays as a base 606,200 credits per month, plus an additional 5,000 credits per animal delivered alive and 20,000 credits per animal pronounced healthy and likely to breed at the end of the month. So you'll be making a little bit over your ship's operating cost. But it is the first job being offered to you by the Fart Society.
I mean, that's 2 months total, so that's 1.2 million credits. Just
And
that
we can pick
base.
up cargo along
And then
the
you
way.
can, exactly,
Yeah.
you can cargo along the way. Yeah.
Solid start.
And as far as where you're going, more information about Przewalski horses, anything like that, we can find out at the start of our next session.
You know when I said we didn't need that animal check?
Right.
Hey, I still have general XP to use.
Could I put one of my experience points in animals?
That's up to you.
Are you a herding Varger?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god.
She's part border collie.
I have a 0 in animals now.
There you go.
There we go. See, this is why you hold the experience points.
Yeah, you've got 6 weeks to do some animal reading.
Henry heard no one has animals and he's like, oh, really now?
Yeah. Cool. Well, let's see. What's the schedule looking like? March 2nd? That's 2 weeks?
March 2nd.
No,
That's
it's not.
the day
I was
before
wrong.
No.
Sorry.
birthday.
That
it's
is my
February
birthday.
24th.
Yeah,
February
that's
February
Alex's
24th.
birthday, and it's the day before my birthday. Look at that.
The week before. My bad.
Yeah, the
24th.
24th.
Oh, right, it's a leap year.
February 24th.
I should be good.
I will be driving back into town, and I'll probably be back in by 7. If you're good to run for like an hour, maybe an hour and a half without me.
It's up to you guys, or we could do the 25th if that works for everyone else as well. I don't know if the
That
25th
one
is
I
better for you.
can't do. I'll
Okay.
actually be the 25th will be. I'm starting a new D&D campaign,
Oh, nice.
and
Ooh.
it'll be weekly on Sundays at 6.
Okay.
So I'll kind of be out on Sundays after that.
The 24th, I guess, and
24th
start a
works.
little late. Or sorry, start and then Doom can kind of catch up or hop in when you're ready. No.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be driving back as soon as I can, and I'll also let I'll let the person I'm meeting out of town know about that to see if I can get here on time. But expect me to be about an hour late.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. I usually be doing doing new stuff for an hour, so it'll be all right. Doing trading. We'll be rolling on trade tables for an hour. We may use your broker skill.
Yeah, I was gonna say my you have access to my character sheet, so
Yeah.
you can see everything.
All right. Cool. All right, folks. I will see you on the 24th.
All right, see you then.
Sounds good.
Alright.
See you guys
All
then.
right, bye.